This is a state of emergency. Check, check. I need all my Knicks fans right now to grab your jerseys, your popcorn, your sodas, whatever you gotta do to get ready for this game. I don't care if you're a cheerleader, an athlete, a couch potato. We're here to restore the feeling. Matter of fact, can you say from New York what I say from New York? Hey, yo, let's go now.
Hey, yo, I bring that New York energy. Talking 42nd Street. Alley hoop finger roll. Ain't nobody checking me. Crossover through the legs. Step back, hit a three. Still up in the hood, but got big baller tendencies. She just trying to get flued out to John Kennedy. Just to see the Knicks play. Make a couple memories. New York, if you ain't from here, don't pretend to be. And if you ain't rocking with the Knicks, you an enemy. Yeah, look at us. Whole city is wild. This is New York. Why y'all ever counted us out? Any game we attend, yeah, we taking it now. Fast break on the court, all up and down. Lead a garden in the pigsty. Yeah, we get it on this side. Bacon, egg, and cheese or the lobster mac with the ribeye. Either way, we winning the overtime if we get tired. Get it with the team, yeah, that's just something we live by. Hey, yo, first quarter in, we gon' turn it up. Gotta warm up first, then we taking it dub. By the third quarter in, no, they ain't catching up. Gotta stay in the lead before that shot clock buzz. If the Knicks get a win, we gon' do it again. Make the finals once before, we gon' do it again. Bounce back in the fourth, we gon' do it again. It's been a while since the chip, but we gon' do it again, yeah.
Yo, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Yo, put your hands up. If you from New York, put your hands up. Yo, look, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Look, put your hands up. Hey, yo, New York City, put your hands up. Sky, baby.
What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? It's the Church Folk Sports Show for, what is today? The 8th of October, 2024. We're here and you're there, and we're excited to be on with you on tonight. We're here on our regular every Tuesday time slot, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. You can join us here on our multiple platforms of Facebook, YouTube, X. You can join us on one of these platforms. So do us a favor. Let's get right into it. We got a lot to unpack and a lot to cover tonight, so let's get right into it. I need you to like, share, tag, and comment. I need you to like, share, tag, and comment. Let's get the algorithm going. Let's get this conversation going on tonight as we're here again, as we are every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Church Folk Sports Show. Subscribe to our page on Facebook and on YouTube. Well, like our page on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click that bell notification. On Facebook, we want you to like, share, tag, and comment. We're going to get into a conversation. A lot going on in the world of sports on today, so there's a whole lot for us to cover as we wait for some of our regulars to come on. We are looking forward to getting into what we got to get into tonight. But just before we get into that, we're going to get some housekeeping out of the way. We invite you to be a part of what we are doing here with the Church Guy Sports Show podcast. As you know, this is the live version, which is every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And then the audio-only version, for those of you who like to just listen to podcasts, is available the next day on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, wherever you can find podcasts. We are there. Just type in Church Guy Sports Show, and you can download the audio-only version, which is available the day after this live show. So it's a way for you to be able to share it with others and get them excited about what we are doing here. We got a lot. I see some of my guests are coming in backstage. We got a special treat for you today. As you know, someone who has become a frequent contributor with us here on the Church Guy Sports Show, in the person of V. George Smith, is with us, and he brought some of his team with him on today to join us on this side on the Church Guy Sports Show. So we're going to welcome in V. George now. What's going on, my brother?
Yo, what's going on, fam? How you doing?
I am good. How are you? And again, a happy birthday to you again.
Thank you, fam. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what you been up to? We missed you last week.
Yeah, man. I just figured that y'all was gonna have a Knicks convocation service.
Being that not a Knicks convocation service.
you you you're welcoming in the town's delegation to the fellowship. So I was like, I'm gonna let them I'm gonna let them have that
Not the
show.
town's delegation.
Yeah,
Not the town's delegation. But we
yeah,
definitely are
man.
great. But we definitely missed you last week, and I mean, because we also talked a lot about our way too early predictions for the NBA season, and a lot more
Mm.
stuff came out with that as we welcome in Bishop L. Bishop L, what's going on, bro?
I'm
What's
here.
up, man?
A lot of
You
buffering
here?
going on right now. What's going on? A lot of
I don't know.
buffering, and I got a
Where
whole
you
lot of
at?
internet. I got a lot of internet here.
Well, I don't know because on our side everything looks good and
Yeah, I'm
clean on
good.
this end, so we good on this side. So hopefully, your signal is good. We hear you nice and clear though, so that's the main thing. We could definitely
That's
hear
all
you
that
loud and
matters.
clear. I don't know if you saw my message in our group chat, but George brought some reinforcements with him tonight.
Yeah, y'all ain't jumping me tonight, man.
Reinforcements?
He brought some
Are
Mm-hmm.
they
reinforcements
all Laker
tonight.
fans? Are they all Laker fans like him? He can't. I don't have the time tonight. I don't have time. I don't feel like dealing with the people from Daddy's daycare. Like,
Listen,
The-
man.
No, the only daddy daycare one is that's Keisha. Keisha is the whole daddy daycare thing. One thing I
she's
appreciate
not even
about
a
George
Laker fan.
is,
Yo, the
is
crazy
George is
thing is
a
that she's not
George is a
even a Laker
realist.
fan.
As we welcome in our regular host Bishop J Mac. J Mac, what's
Peace,
going on?
everybody.
What's
What's
going on?
happening?
What's going on? What's going
As,
on?
as you can see, I'm on the move as usual, but I'm here.
As usual. But we glad to have you here. We glad to have you here. As always, as we prepare to get into our conversation on tonight, we about to get it flowing. And I see, let's see what I see a couple of Georgia's people. I'm gonna bring them on. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
bring in D Tovin. What's going on, bro?
How y'all feeling?
We good, man. We good. We
Man, we
good. We
got
good.
people
What's
in
going on with
cars.
you?
We got people on planes. What? Why am I sitting
Man,
in this house?
I'm on a train back to Connecticut right
this
quick, but
this a
yeah,
traveling show. This is a traveling
Yes,
show.
sir. Travel shoes.
I'm
Oh.
feeling
We,
Yeah, I'll
great.
be on. I'll be on
they
the
got
plane.
their
I'll
traveling
be on.
shoes on.
I'll be on the plane tomorrow morning,
real,
heading to GA.
Oh, you
real,
heading
real quick.
heading down? Yep.
Thank y'all for having
Yeah.
me on the show, first of all. And somebody said something about Laker fans.
Uh
Yeah,
oh.
they be,
Uh
how,
It
oh.
how,
can't be. It
how,
can't. I wasn't looking at the camera, so it can't be the one with the Knicks hat on. It can't be.
It was absolutely
I'm
the
Uh
not.
oh.
one
I'm
with the
no
Knicks
snitch.
hat on.
I'm
It
no
was
snitch. I'm
absolutely
no
the one
snitch.
with the Knicks hat on. Absolutely.
Oh
Ain't
my!
no
Wait.
yo.
Okay. Don't y'all start. Don't y'all start. I got one more person I gotta
I'm
bring in.
sorry.
G Mays, what's going on? Who is showing us his
What's
computer
good?
screen?
She made
Your camera's backwards.
Yeah,
turn the
Yeah.
this
camera
camera,
around,
this
brother.
camera, this camera view got me in the chokehold.
Oh
Go
yeah, that
go
camera
to
view. You
settings.
you
Go to
you
go
fighting
to
with it right
settings.
now.
I had
well,
I had to do
we
the
go.
same thing. G. Go to settings.
Well, we're gonna let you get your technical difficulties together. We're gonna bring you back in a minute.
Making George look bad.
It's all right. We use Zoom over here, so it's a little different.
It's a little bit different, but the concept is still the same. With Zoom, you still gotta manipulate that camera a little bit sometimes. Even with that. All right, there we go. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
G Mays is in the building. What's going on? What's going on? So we here. We're on the Church Guys Sports Show podcast. So again, I need all those that are out there watching. I need y'all to like, share, tag, comment. Let's get into the conversation on tonight. So much to unpack where it comes to the world of sports. NBA is underway. Preseason has started. The preseason has started. A lot of the early moves have been made, and we're starting to see what teams are going to look like. As you know, this is one of the shortest that I can remember. One of the shortest preseasons there is in terms of training camp wise. I remember late '90s, early 2000s training camps were 2 weeks long. Now they get it. This media day is on Monday, and you playing your first preseason game on Friday. Like
Hmm.
But I guess it's because so much has changed in the world and landscape of professional basketball, where guys are not taking the summers off like they used to in terms of resting their bodies and then needing to that 2 week time to get back into shape. They're coming in shape because they're playing ball all summer long. You got Chris Brickley with his runs, the Black Ops runs in New York City. He got his jello. The Black Ops runs that go on pretty much all summer long. A lot of individual workouts with players and players getting together playing pickup. One thing I didn't see this year is you didn't see a lot of guys playing in pro-ams this year. Let me talk about that for a second before we delve into it. Why do you think that there seems to be a movement away from guys playing in pro-ams now?
Insurance policies. You twist that ankle at some sweaty gym. Somebody got paid that salary still.
But most of the guys have insurance policies on their contracts now anyway. But it was just you didn't see no clips of anybody playing at a pro-am this year. Everybody was either doing individual work.
I think people are just.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I think people are conserving their bodies too, man. I think with the grind and then they just implemented you got to play a certain amount of games in order to be eligible for those end of season awards. And
Gary, we can hear.
That's not me.
I know it's Gary.
That's Gary Mays over there. He working on some music while we on the podcast right now.
Using Pro Tools, like, come on, man.
Time out, man. I don't know who Restream is. Restream. Yeah, so I'm used to being on Zoom with the fellas where we have real decent conversations that I can ignore. Clearly, I can't ignore y'all. I have to pay attention. So I'll turn my music off, man.
Yeah, I think.
If you hear, you got to pay attention.
I think guys are just trying to conserve their bodies now. Again, like I said, you got the new.
He on I-95.
J-Mac must. J-Mac is on I-95 in his car. So especially if you're on the island.
I know what that is. That's the Jackie Robinson.
I'm about to say if he's on a highway in New York, if one of them highways where there's no signal like the Jackie Robinson.
But I'll piggyback with what he's saying. I think a lot of guys are conserving their body. I think a lot of guys are really, really like. First of all, the dudes that you seen playing in those pro-ams were our superstars of the last 10 years, if you will. And those guys are getting older. And they're like, I'm preserving this body. Like, you got to do, like LeBron. LeBron wasn't playing in no pro-am, but he did play in the summer in the Olympics. But after that, it was it. Because my man is 45. He don't need to be playing no more. He don't need to be playing no more than those 82 games that he's trying to play.
Okay, I hear that. Anybody else got a take on that?
I just agree with what everybody said. Only person I saw that played in the Pro-Am was, I believe, Kyrie, but he didn't play the Olympics. So, like everybody said, they got that clause in their contract to be eligible for certain awards and incentives. You got to play 65 games or something like that. So, it's more stuff. LeBron's gonna. I'm sorry. Can y'all?
Yeah, we got you. Oh, wait. Okay, so your train is tearing it up now. Okay.
You back?
You back, D? D-Tobin, you back?
Say something, DJ.
It's body preservation. Like I think that's really what it is. I don't think they're like shutting out the pro-ams or whatever. I think they're leaving it to the up and coming dudes that are coming into the league that need the reps. Because I did see a lot of draft dudes playing. You did see a lot of guys in the draft that was playing. A lot of guys, a lot of guys that are possibly teetering on whether they're going to declare for the draft next year. You saw a lot of them playing. I don't. Maybe it's just not. These guys are really like a lot of them are family now, family oriented. They taking that time to go on vacations. They working out their body on their own private time. They're getting their workouts on their own private time, and they're coming back into the season ready to rock and roll. And again, like I said, that the family part is definitely a piece of it. Most of their kids are getting older. Some of them are at games for their kids. Some of their kids are playing AAU. Some of their kids are playing in basketball tournaments where they want to be there to support the child, support the kid. So I don't think it's like something negative or like, oh, we're not doing that anymore. I think it's more so that guys have identified another priority in their life as far as their summer is concerned, because training camp, like you said, training camp kind of starts like boom, and then it's bang right into the thick of things.
And I just think that it's interesting because I know the NBA, at the behest of the players' union in more recent years, has moved away from a lot of back-to-backs during the season. I know the NBA has moved away from that. The NBA has, tried to do things that will try to preserve players during the course of the 82 game stretch. But I don't know if shortening training camp was one of the things that was necessarily wise where it comes to that. So you've got more preseason games. Yes, there are more preseason games. They're spread out a little bit more. So now the preseason, whereas you had that 2 week training camp, and then maybe you played 3 or 4 preseason games in a span of 10 days, and then it was into the regular season. Now you've got you got the training camp lasting a week, but preseason is now almost 3 full weeks long of actual preseason games, and then you start the NBA season, and also with the season now starting at the end of October as opposed to starting first week of November as it traditionally has been. I think you're starting to see a lot of those changes. So I agree, players are starting to say, well, hey, with the NBA kind of stretching things out a bit and adding essentially another month to the season, there really isn't that recovery time during the summer for me to take the time to play in, my neighborhood's pro-am, or I can't fly to New York and play at Rucker this year. I can't do the things that I normally would in those particular cases that would allow me to do that. So I just think it's very interesting to see as the landscape of the league changes and we move toward a younger, faster, more versatile players who do more. I guess the body preservation has become, the most important thing where it comes to that. But as we get into that, looking into the NBA preseason, you guys, DJ and Gary, and I think I see Phil is on here as well. You guys didn't get a chance because you weren't a part of the podcast when we did these episodes a couple weeks ago. So I want to give you guys a chance. I'm going to ask you, what are your predictions for the 2024 NBA season? Who's coming out of the East? Who's coming out of the West? Who are your front runners for MVP? What are we looking at?
Boy, Phil's ready.
Phil looks
on,
ready.
Man. Listen,
Phil looks
what's
ready.
Up? What up? First of all, hello America. Secondly, those that know me, they know I'm Team KD. So wherever KD's at, that's what I'm rolling with. So I like the Suns with my heart. My head though says realistically, it's probably the Suns. And so because of that, I like the improvements that were made with the point guard. That was a glaring weakness for us because we just didn't have any capable, responsible playmakers with the game on the line and in moments where we didn't need to rely on the big three. So I like the steady hand of Tyus Jones. I think he has the best assist to turnover ratio in NBA history, which is crazy. He's also a good shooter and a solid defender. And I think it'll free up Beal and Booker to be what they naturally are. In a perfect world, Beal would probably come off the bench, but obviously politically, you can't do that. So that's
Yeah, he
fine.
makes too much money.
He makes too much money, but I think it's okay because I think he takes a willing secondary third role to KD and Booker. So it'll be interesting. I like Bud Budenholzer good in there because he'll make us shoot more threes. And that's just something that Vogel wasn't interested in. I think we match up well with most teams. We ran into some trouble in Minnesota in the first round. We won't speak on that, but I think I don't see that happening again for a multitude of reasons. I think we found a way just to kind of plug the leaks, so to speak. So I like Phoenix. I really do coming out the West, unless KD takes a step back in his ability, which I don't forecast happening. In the East, I like Philly, man, and the reason why I like Philly is just because I think Maxey doesn't have to know. He don't have to take a back seat, but he also doesn't have to have the pressure that was put on him last year as a number two. So it's almost like he can be he can be more comfortably with what he's been able to be without the pressure of he has to be the second guy, because then now him and Paul George can kind of rotate on that. And Embiid, I think at some point you got to put up a shut up. And so I think this is a big year for him. He don't have no more excuses. He doesn't have a Tobias Harris problem. He doesn't have a Harden problem. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't
A
have
Ben
a
Simmons
Mike.
problem.
Because, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if he can't do it this year, he'll never be able to do it. And I think Paul George is still good enough. Maxey is great. And Philly, I think they're primed. Unless he can't stay healthy. If it's not them, it's New York. And I don't know how I feel about Cat there as yet. I think they lose a little bit of their identity as far as being um, the toughness. I think some toughness left with Randall culture wise, and I don't think Cat helps with that at all. So yeah, Phoenix and New York.
Okay. All right. So Phoenix out of the West, and either Philly or New York. I gotta ask you this, Phil. You picking Phoenix? Are you picking as a KD fan, or are you picking as someone who truly believes that in a stacked Western Conference, that Phoenix can navigate that when they couldn't do it last year? Now, I agree that Tyus Jones is a huge pickup for them, someone who can take the ball out of Devin Booker's hands and actually facilitate as a point guard. But they had issues on the defensive part of the ball. That was their biggest problem. Phoenix could put up points. They couldn't stop anybody.
Well,
Nobody.
and so I will counter with this. It wasn't really defense breakdowns as in like they couldn't guard anybody. It's the fact that we had awful turnovers, and those turnovers created easy baskets, and it's hard to defend when you're turning the ball over. So I'm not saying we're a
DJ looking
great
like you
defensive.
capping hard right now.
I'm not saying we're a great defensive team, but we're good enough. But when you're turning the ball over, that's just, you're not doing yourself any favors. And we already weren't a great second chance team as from a rebounding standpoint. So if we struggle with getting second chance points, and we're one of the leaders in turnovers, it don't matter how good a defender you are. So I think our defense will get better by us having more control on the offensive end, and I think the numbers will show that to be true. Because at the end of the day, even with all that being said, we still were the sixth seed, and we had multiple injuries. We didn't have an identity on offense, and we could not keep the ball um, we didn't have great possession. So I think if we clean all that up, the defense will look a little bit better and won't be as big of an issue.
All right, DJ, I'm gonna let you jump in. Look like you got something you want to say about this.
DJ said his signal is bad. He's dying to chime in when it
Well, we
gets
dying to
better.
hear it.
He got a lot of, he texted me. He got a lot in his mind concerning those points.
Well, we definitely want to hear what DJ has to say. So,
Well, I honestly don't. I do not think that Philly is coming out the East. I think that the East is locked up within Boston or New York. And I'm not a Boston fan. I hate Boston with a passion. But I think that it's locked up with New York. I personally don't think Philly is tough enough. And I honestly feel like New York, just watching them the other day, this is a team that's coming about their business, and I think a lot of people are really playing this cat is not tough card real hard. Like all of these cats is NBA ball players. Like they I don't think there's anything soft about this dude, and I think Embiid knows that best. I think Embiid knows that best.
He did yoke Embiid up. He did. He
yoked him
absolutely
up.
did yoke Embiid
He
up.
yoked him up. And so, I mean, just because a guy is an easygoing type of person who doesn't look for conflict, I think if you put a person in the right situation, you may get that animal out of him. Let's not forget. Now, of course, he's from, what is it, Edison? Are you literally I am a Knicks fan. I'm a Knicks fan.
I couldn't tell.
Oh, trust me, this is who I am. Like
multiple Knicks apparel.
This is who I am, and yo, like the season has started. We had a preseason game the other day. I have to rep my team, especially when dudes is coming on here talking about Philly. First of all, because I got a beef with Stephen A. talking about, he did average 32 a game in the playoffs against the Knicks. Yeah, after he snatched Mitchell Robinson out of the air and twisted his ankle up, of course he's going to average that. But back to what I was saying, we can't forget that Cat, though he's from Edison, New Jersey, and I know Edison, New Jersey is a suburban area where you're not really looking for no smoke. Dude that played in Gauchos. This is the dude that played at West Fork. This is the dude that played in Rucker Park. He's not unfamiliar to this New York scene, nor is he unfamiliar to the aggressiveness of basketball in this city. I really believe that he's coming here to put that work in. Of course, the initial shock of this trade, as I was telling Key yesterday, yo, you one day, everything is good. I'm getting ready for training camp. And then you get a phone call, take your tail to New York. It's out of here. Like, you don't expect that. Like, that. Nobody expected that. Even us as Knicks fans didn't expect it. We were talking about Julius getting out of here because the word was on the street that Julius was getting out of here, but you had no idea that trade was going to be what it was. Boston, because they the champs, it goes through them. Straight like that. And that's it. It goes through them, and until it's been proven that they are not going to come out the East, you have to automatically assume that because they are the champs and they have that pedigree going with them, yes, they coming out the East. Their problem in Boston is going to be Porzingis not coming until after the All-Star break. That's where their issue is going to be. Porzingis won't be here till after the All-Star break. So who's going to stretch that floor for you? Who's going to grab those rebounds for you? Who's going to
Al Horford retired, so.
Yeah, who's going to do the things for you?
Al hung it up?
Al hung it
Gone.
up.
Sneakers are at midcourt, baby. So
Hey, I got a question about that. So are you saying because Porzingis won't be there half the year, they're going to struggle? Is that your position?
No. I don't think that they're going to struggle. I just don't think they're going to get the jump in the standings like they did last year. They got a jump in the standings because they played a lot of injured teams in the East. Let's just keep it a buck. They never saw a healthy Knicks team. Never. And then when we did get a little bit healthy at the end of the season, we blew them out by 30. So
I get it now. That's what you're okay. I get it. That's what you're doing.
But I'm not using that as the bench. I'm not using that as the bench.
Sounds like it.
No, trust me, don't take it that way. What I'm saying is that without Porzingis, they're not going to get the jump in the standings that they did. And let's be honest, they got a jump in the standings last year. They was 10 games out before the All-Star break.
How many games did Porzingis miss?
Huh?
I feel like Porzingis missed 2 months before he came back.
Porzingis is like a sunroof in the car. Like,
come on, man.
You have it, but it's still drive if you don't got
come
one.
On, man.
Like, we're not gonna do that. And like the dude from the Wizards is the missing piece to them holding down the East. Like they ran through that finals without him being there at all. Like in a real way.
So you think
they're gonna?
So George, you think Porzingis is a non-factor the first two
Afterthought.
Not, no
rounds
one said that. No one said that.
because the first two rounds of the
Afterthought.
playoffs, they needed Porzingis.
Yeah, they don't win it. Well, they don't win a championship without Porzingis showing up like he did in the final.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. And honestly, I've said this. I'm on record saying I think the Knicks match up very well with Boston. Not so much with Philly because I think Embiid has a clear advantage over Cat, and the way they his usage rate is just going to cause a lot of problems for Cat. Boston don't really have someone for Cat like that, so I think he can have his way with Porzingis on both ends, and then y'all have OG and my. I mean, honestly, I don't. If I was Boston, I would be nervous going into a series against y'all. Then that's why I lean towards Philly because I think Philly is the only team that could give y'all problems. Because I don't think Mikael or like Paul George is a different matchup nightmare than Tatum or Brown. I don't. I think it's easier to guard them than it is to guard Paul George with the way he plays, in my opinion. And then you also have Maxey there, who I think Derek White and Drew can handle him. But Paul George, that's something different that Philly has not had from that wing position, and really since what Dr. J. So I like the Knicks against Boston, not so much against Philly. So that's kind of where my position was.
Well,
Okay.
since we talking Knicks, orange jello time. So what's real over here?
We know you and your Jello.
ZJ, you good now?
DJ, you good?
It's sugar-free.
We definitely want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. So yeah, I got definitely ain't got the Knicks coming out the East. I like the trade with Cat. I just want to touch on everything y'all said. I like the trade with Cat. I actually agree with Phil, which I really don't. I really do. Rather, and I do agree that I probably have Philly coming out of the East. For all the reasons he said, we already know what kind of basketball that Embiid was playing before he got hurt. I believe he can do it again. And like he said, it takes all that weight off of Maxey from having to be a superstar at this point in his career with Paul George being there. So I got them, and I think Dallas is going to be come out the West. I could be biased.
You got
to say
Dallas
the
coming
Lakers.
back out of the West again. Okay.
Yeah, I could be biased to say the Lakers, but I got to see how they go. I got to see the injury. We're an injury-prone team. We are. It's, between even though he played a lot of games last year, but years prior, AD, we know Brown is aging, but he's still playing great basketball. Cam Reddish, who's important. Vando, who's important. It depends on how D'Lo play as well, but I definitely got Dallas coming out. Early predictions. Dallas coming out.
Lakers coming out. Lakers coming out the West, baby. Lakers coming out the West. Bronny is getting the scoring title too.
Don't worry about it.
Let the jokes begin.
Just let it go. Don't even respond. Don't respond.
I want somebody to tag me. Tag me.
For some reason, they're obsessed with Bronny on this show. I don't know.
Tag me, George.
We
Tag
are
me,
not
George.
obsessed. I'm not obsessed with Bronny. I could care less. But
This world is obsessed with Bronny.
The Jets fired their coach today, Green.
You just going through all the colors. Go ahead, Keisha. You want to jump in that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to tag since Butler. Did I get greeted? I don't know if I got greeted when I came in here.
No, we didn't greet you. That's what happens when you late.
Save the best for last. That's how it goes. Save the best for last. Anyway.
Make your point. Make your point.
Anyway, so since Butler want to sit over here and want to talk about Bronny, yeah, you guys are obsessed with him. Yeah, you're obsessed. And you know what? I think the Lakers may have a good deal coming out from the West. I think so.
They are. They're coming out the West.
I don't think the Lakers stack up
You
against
laugh
OKC.
with the confidence of a man that has a championship in the last 50 years.
Don't do it, George. Don't do it.
I get that, but that man
That's
is
half
that,
a century.
That
That's
man's
a lot.
gonna. That man's gonna be that man. The that man knows what he's talking about.
There's just too much confidence in MSG
The
with
only
This
team
isn't
that's
even.
going to give us
nothing,
a
But we're not
run
talking
is
about. But we're not
Denver.
talking about the Knicks right now. We're talking about the Lakers.
with nothing to show for it.
But
I'm
we're
just
talking
saying.
about. But we're talking about the Lakers right now, and their
I'm just
chances of
saying.
getting out of the Western Conference right
I
now.
mean, listen,
So
it's
so let's
okay.
stay on
It's
task.
fine. But
Why is
you
it?
know
Why
what?
is it a thing? Seriously, why is it a thing for the Lakers? What confidence do you have in the Lakers against Minnesota, against Dallas, against Denver? You know
Against
what I'm saying?
right against Denver, against Oklahoma
No,
City.
but see, that's what I'm saying. I was gonna say the only ones that I feel like that would give us a competition like that is Minnesota or Denver. I can see that. I can see that because I know they're gonna give us a date. It was self-explanatory last year.
Dallas doesn't
No,
concern you at all. Dallas does not concern you at all. If you're a
Now,
Lakers fan,
I feel like it's gonna be competitive, but I'm not overly.
hey,
I'm overly concerned about one team,
I
and
know
that's the
you know
and
it's
that's the
Denver.
Denver Nuggets.
I know you fear Denver because
Denver.
they've just
I
had your
fear
number.
Denver.
I
I
get
think
it.
that's the only team that I look at and be like, I hope we could beat them. Everybody else on a given night, I feel like we could beat them.
But that's
That's
on a
just me.
given night. We're talking about a 7-game series here.
Oh, we already in the playoffs. We're not even talking
Yeah,
about.
because
All right.
I do think the
Well,
Lakers are a playoff
well.
team. I do think the Lakers are a playoff team.
yeah,
Really,
I
D'Lo?
no,
play in,
I think they're
No,
play
they're a
in
yeah,
ish.
playoff.
yeah.
They're a playoff
Right, I'm
team.
with you, Phil, on that.
The
Play
week
in
the
ish,
West has
seven between
weakened.
7 and 10. They'll be there.
Cap.
Memphis. That's a good point.
Memphis
Memphis.
is back. Memphis is coming back. They got Ja back. You know, these are things. The
Joy.
West is stacked.
But how you
Hey,
got
and don't sleep.
confidence in people with charges and rookies? Jaron Jackson is not going to be there. Like,
Without
come
with
on, man.
charges.
What are we doing?
Don't sleep
Jaron
on the
Jackson's not going to be
Pelicans.
there.
Don't sleep
Like,
on the Pelicans.
Nah, I'm
come
sleeping
on,
on the
Brandon
Pelicans.
Ingram's not going.
I don't
Okay,
think the
No,
Pelicans.
you're
I don't think the
not.
okay,
Are
Pelicans.
you
okay,
kidding me?
I don't think the
okay.
Pelicans are ready to take that step yet.
Brandon
They
Ingram
got
is
they
not
got a
happy.
Brandon Ingram
You seen
problem.
the
Why?
pictures?
Because he
Hear
was
me out.
on Ozempic. That's why.
Y'all
Because he
talking
was on
about
Ozempic.
Zion? Y'all talking about AD not playing the
Yeah,
whole season?
I don't think the Pelicans are a factor.
No,
I
no.
don't.
Hear me out though. The version of Zion that I saw before he went down, that's a scary version. Now,
That
granted,
20
It
minutes.
is, but he's got to stay healthy.
he
So
has to
you're
stay healthy.
confident
But
in that 20 minutes? That 20 minutes of basketball.
hey man, that's sometimes it's all. Come on, man. Sometimes that's all you need
Get
to
out
see.
of here.
And
Hey,
LeBron
I think
has
Brandon, why
DeMarco
figured
you
Murray.
out the
taking
playoffs
Ozempic?
about one guy the past 2 years. Nikola Jokic. That's the only cat I fear.
Well,
Period.
listen,
Who else
the
did y'all play?
It's been Jokic and injuries. That's the only thing that can stop them, in my opinion.
well, listen.
I
I
feel like
think
they
the
can do
Western
good.
Conference should be afraid of Jokic because he's proven that he can put Denver on his back when it counts.
Absolutely. But OKC was 3-1 against them. I don't know how Minnesota looks with this new team coming in. But they
Utah.
dominated us last year. So there might be a team that I might need to fear.
Okay.
But who
That's
else?
what I said. I
Dallas?
said
I'm not
Minnesota
sure
and
about
Denver.
Dallas.
I mean,
I said Minnesota
Dallas.
and Denver.
I'm not sure about Dallas.
I was high on Dallas until I saw the effort they put forth in the finals,
Right.
and I'm just not sure that Dallas wasn't a fluke, if that makes sense. I'm not sure, and it's only because watching those 5 games during the finals, I was just like,
I
did they
hope
luck their
Dallas
way
is
out of the
fine.
Western Conference? Because this does not look like a team. Because as good as Boston was, Dallas, on paper, should have matched up a lot better against them than they did.
Well,
Who walks
Hey,
away
I'll say
D-Lo.
overly
this.
shocked?
Hey,
Who
hey,
walks away overly shocked if Dallas was to make it to the conference finals? Are you
I'm not
gonna walk
shocked.
away
I wouldn't be
shocked?
shocked. No, not at
I
all.
I think Dallas wasn't a fluke because Luca is that good. You know what I'm saying? And then
He is.
Kyrie is that good. Now, granted, they had some unexpected shooting prowess by way of who's your boy? Is it Washington? PJ
PJ.
Washington
You broke
and
down
Derrick
why PJ
Jones.
Washington was a fluke last year.
No,
You
no,
wrote a
no,
paper on it.
he should have. No, no, no.
Wrote a paper on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was the outlier, but then they picked up Clay. If they brought the same team back, then I'm kind of with you on the fluke aspect of it. But they brought in Clay. Derek Lively should get better. They brought, you know what I'm saying? So listen, I'm just saying I wouldn't be
Not high.
surprised if
y'all
they gave
relying
Lively a
on
problem.
He's
Clay?
not high on
I,
Lively.
I
D'Lo's not
Y'all
high
feel
on
relying
either.
on Clay?
I feel this way
I don't.
about
I didn't use those words.
I feel the way about Dallas the same way I feel about Philly, just from the standpoint of if your reliance is on 35-year-old wings at this point, I don't know if I can really trust that. Because if you're saying that your championship hopes rely on how well a 35-year-old wing in this younger, faster, more athletic NBA is,
I don't
can they
really
do it?
consider.
Yes.
Do
Whether
we
that's
really consider
PG,
them on the
whether
same
that's
level
Clay,
though?
but if you're hinging your championship aspirations on that, I'm concerned.
But there's
Hey,
a
I
third
mean,
D'Lo,
option though.
hold on 1 second. Hold on. I don't know who's watching all my children, but can you mute your mic? I don't know. I
Not
don't
all
know
my
who's watching.
children.
I don't
That
know who's
that
watching
show been
General
canceled for 10
Hospital.
years. What are you talking
I don't
about? All
know
my
who's
children.
watching General Hospital. I don't know. Mute your mic so I
Oh,
can't hear.
Clay, the Warriors needed Clay to be the second best player on the last year's team. That you can't rely on that. The
True.
Clippers needed Paul George to be the number one option because Kawhi was hurt. You can't rely on that. He's literally being asked to play a second, third role in Philly, and Clay is being asked to play a third role in Dallas. I think both of those, I think they can. I think you can rely on them beating those expectations if the other two
Okay.
do their jobs.
This is not KD going to Golden State. You know,
no,
these are
it's not.
guys who are toward the end of their careers, who are going into situations with already established number one options. Where there's
And number
first
two
that
option.
but there's first that ego thing
Yep.
where they're used to being the number one option. So as good as Miami was back during their run, you know, they went through it as well. When you got a bunch of guys who are used to being number ones, you got to figure out who's going to get those last shots. And sometimes you don't recover from those early season growing pains.
Are we looking at Paul George and Klay Thompson as the same kind of acquisition though?
Are we looking at as the same kind of acquisition? No, because I do think that Clay understands that he's going to Dallas as the number three option. I think he understands that. I do think Paul George is going to Philly as the number two option. I do agree with that. But I'm still saying both of these gentlemen are north of 35. So,
I
you know,
I think
it
Clay
really
has less
depends on how
pressure.
much. And Clay has less pressure, and Clay is coming off of two really bad Achilles injuries, who that caused him to miss full seasons.
Yeah,
And
that's why I don't really consider it. I can't equate those two because to me, Clay is like a role guy now. He's just a catch and shoot guy. He's not
well,
3 and D no more. He's not that. He doesn't bring you the defensive presence that a Paul George still does, regardless of age. At this point in his career,
Okay.
um, I look at Clay as more as a role player right now. He's going to be catching and shooting, in my opinion.
so all the shots that Tim Hardaway bricked, Clay gets those shots this year, right? And
Got you.
you got two guys in Kyrie and Luca who can create the gravity that only Steph could create in Golden State. So I think that gives, I think Clay can thrive in that role. Now in Philly, Paul George is going to have to be definitely be more of a he's going to have to be a better version. There's more required of Paul in Philly than Clay in Dallas, but
Agreed.
I think Paul can handle it, and I think Maxi and I think it's perfect for both. I think both can do well in their situations.
Rumble in the chat. What up, Rumble?
Yeah,
Rumble in the
and
chat starting
What
then
trouble.
up,
imagine this:
Rumble?
Paul can play defense now at a new level and not have to worry about having to drop 25 like he had in LA with the Clippers. So I think that also is a unique wrinkle that no one's really realized.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely going to be very interesting, and I agree with that. Rumble. Paul George hasn't played bad.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, his
Yeah.
name is Andre Rumble. That's his actual name. Yes, that's his real live on his birth certificate name.
Caught me off guard. I thought that was a nickname. I'm like, how'd that happen? But makes sense.
Andre Marquise Rumble.
Right, Andre Marquise Rumble.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he will, and I agree with that, Rumble. Joel Embiid
Absolutely.
needs to stay healthy. I absolutely agree with that.
This all goes
Any,
out the window if he pulls up lame, which is a high possibility. So
Absolutely.
we have to take those things into consideration. They easily fall down with
it,
teams like with I was gonna say Cleveland, but no, Orlando, even Milwaukee. Like somebody, I think it was Windhorse was like Milwaukee was like 40 and I couldn't figure the number, but they were about 10, 15 games over 500 when Dame and Giannis played together.
I don't care.
So I know.
I don't care. I don't.
I mean, it brings they're an interesting wild card to me. I don't have enough
Why?
trust in them. I don't have enough trust in them to say I believe completely, but they're gonna screw up some people's nights. They're like I don't know. I'm not I like to take the whole season into account. I don't like this whole thing where everybody just jumps to the play. We got time before we get to April.
I
I'm taking
feel
into
you.
consideration those games that you have to win to get that first seed, second seed. So like that night in November that you got to win that nobody's watching but your league pass people, you got to beat Charlotte. You feel
True.
me? You
I
got to
agree with
beat
you.
Charlotte. Those games matter too. So I'm just saying, like, do I think they're gonna come out the East? No. But do I think they could mess up somebody's series real quick? I think they could. I think they could.
I think they have the same problem with Middleton that Golden State has been having with Clay.
True. True.
And at the end of the day, if Middleton cannot return to what he was when they won, it doesn't.
Middleton's another one that can't stay on the court. He can't seem to stay healthy. And I see Rumble does not believe in Cat's Bodega.
Rumble is a
Oh,
man.
unless
Rumble
they
is a
drafted a
man.
kid, unless they have a DiVincenzo or somebody that kind of came out of nowhere that we don't see coming. Ah, I
I
don't
wish I was
care.
a I wish I was a gambler. I'm putting this out there. San Antonio will be a huge factor.
Oh, child,
Mm,
let's not do
Man,
that.
I wish
Let's
I
not do that.
gambled. I wish I gambled.
They gonna win
Rumble
30
says it's over for
games.
the Bucks. I don't know about San Antonio being a factor. I
They
think
gonna win 30
there's
games.
a lot of building blocks. I think they will improve on last season. I don't know that they're quite ready to take that leap. I don't know if Wemby's ready to take that leap.
Here we go.
Um, that as Wemby goes is how San Antonio is going to go. Quite honestly,
If he's a
that's
top
what it
10
boils down
player,
to.
they will be in the playoffs. If he's a
Yeah,
top 10
if
player,
he's a top 10 player.
I don't know if he's that good yet. They have a year of film. They know how to make things uncomfortable for him, and typically, you got to figure out how to counter that. And I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know that he's done that yet. I could be wrong, but I don't know. He might
Rumble
need another
has the
year.
Spurs in the play-in.
Nah, Rumble.
Not in the West.
They got a 40-year-old
Ray
point
is
guard.
another
They got a
person.
40-year-old point guard, and he's the only one that's gonna want to give Wemby the ball.
Dre is another person who doesn't have a team unless LeBron is on it.
Oh, come on.
That's Dre is a
I mean, no,
LeBron,
that's a true statement. That's a true statement.
and so like you
He's a
really
LeBron.
can't
He's a
take
LeBron guy.
anything
Call my
serious.
boy out, y'all.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying
that's our brother. But I mean,
know,
truth
I
is the
know,
truth.
but call my bro
The
out.
truth is
he
the
has no
truth.
like he is a LeBron fan, not a he has no team.
I got your back, Rumble. I ain't gonna let them.
So okay, he brought up Houston. I think they have an issue that that is going to reveal itself because that Reed kid is nice, but you have a talent redundancy with him
My big
and
brother, Pastor
Green.
Dr. Byron Harden. What's going on? The voice of Reese. Dr.
Um,
Harden, what's your prediction for who's coming out of the East and West in the NBA this season?
We don't want to know.
You know what, Keisha? You're going to leave one of the pastors of your
We don't
jurisdiction
want to know.
alone.
He's a Cowboys fan. We don't want to know. No
what's
offense.
wrong with the
What's your
Cowboys?
problem?
No
Watch your
offense,
Uh-oh.
mouth.
George.
Uh-oh.
Watch your mouth.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Watch your
She's a
mouth.
Giants fan. She's a Giants fan. That's why.
Oh
Oh, I
God,
apologize. I apologize. My bad.
her accent told me either Giants or Philly. Uh, but
Hey, y'all won
that's
Sunday though.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Big
No,
big
I was
win for the
shocked.
Giants on
I'm a
Sunday.
fan, but I was shocked. I ain't
Hey,
gonna hold
I
you.
like the kid. I like Brian Thomas. I like the kid.
I was shocked. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a fan. That's my team, but I was shocked. I ain't gonna hold you.
And Willie Green says if San Antonio is in, then the Warriors are out.
The Warriors been out. Who they got? Who
Dr.
they
Harden
got?
says out of the East, he believes Philly's coming out of the East in the Eastern Conference.
Wow. Nobody got no love for the Knicks.
I like it. I
It's
like it.
okay. Nobody had
I
love for the
like
Knicks
it.
last year either. I mean,
I like it.
True.
I like it. That is
So
just
nobody
cold.
don't trust Cat? Nobody don't trust Cat?
I just
Nah,
don't.
the
Cat
way
over
the
there?
way the way that people feel about the
I
Knicks
honestly
is
don't trust Philly.
the way that people feel about the Knicks is media driven. I like it. The Knicks wasn't supposed to do what they did last year. And let's just keep it 100. Come on, let's keep it 100. If the Knicks are healthy, they come out the East last year.
The Cavs are coming out the East?
The Cavs. What? Who said that?
Who's that?
I don't believe the
What?
Who
Cavs.
said the Cavs are coming out the East? What?
Who got this much energy to like that?
Anybody talking about the Cavs coming out the East, they drinking baby oil.
They was at Diddy's party. I don't know.
No, man.
Not there was at Diddy's party. Okay, that's too much.
Come on,
Okay,
man.
that was J Mac's sound. I don't know where J Mac is, but that was all that loudness. That was
Okay.
Oh, he
J
was
Mac that
watching
has
all my children.
in the background.
Did you see
Okay.
Did you see the GM survey that came out
Yes,
on
today.
NBA.com?
Yes. I've been looking at it all day. A lot of good things, and quite honestly, the Knicks are, according to the GMs, the Knicks are in the top 10 in a lot of categories. The Knicks players are in the top 10 in a lot of categories. So actually, the league's GMs are kind of high on the Knicks this year. I don't know if they're high enough to say that they would think that they'd be a finals contender, but they are definitely high on the team as well as the individual players that the Knicks have. So there's a little bit more respect being put on the Knicks' name this year than has been in previous years.
On paper,
Yeah,
they got the best starting five in the league. On paper, they have the best starting five in the league. They got to stay healthy.
I think Boston would
Knicks?
have something to say about that.
The Knicks got the best starting five?
Absolutely.
I think Boston would have something to say about that.
And Phoenix.
Absolutely.
So the Knicks got the
Okay,
best starting five.
So wait. So Phil, we have something that we've coined on this show called fan brain. and you saying
You
Phoenix
said the
having the
Knicks
best
had the
starting
best starting
five
five
in the
in the
in
league.
the
Yo,
National
I don't
Basketball
understand.
Association
I'm saying, okay,
makes me have to
let's
say that sounds like fan brain.
no. Okay, cool. Let's have the conversation.
They've got
K,
three great players.
no, but so
Phoenix got swept.
what? Okay. What
That
does one have to do with the
conversation is
other?
over. Conversation is over.
What does one have to do
No,
with the
it's a
other?
new
Conversation is
team,
over.
Keisha. It's a new team though. You
New
can't.
No.
team.
No, the
What?
conversation can't be over. You can't base what happened in the past on what's going on in the present.
Oh my
Pierre says
God.
Philly isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, but
That Tyus
you
Jones
kind of
pickup,
gauge
that's
what
a
you can
big
kind of.
pickup.
It is
Yo.
absolutely a big pickup. It is a
Who's-
big pickup. Just
Who's
from the
better, Josh
standpoint.
Hart? Who's better, Josh Hart or Tyus Jones? Who's the better player?
But see, we're not playing a one-on-one game.
No. What I'm saying, I'm going through the starting lineup. I'm saying we have Tyus Jones, Bill, Booker, Katie, and Nurkic. Y'all
Y'all
have
no chemistry though, and because there's no real chemistry, that's what hurts that starting five.
how do y'all have chemistry? Y'all got two new niggas.
We only get what? I mean, first of all, Mikal is not a chemistry issue because Mikal played with them already.
Stop doing that. Just because they played together in college when he was the main guy. Now he's
That
gonna
chemistry is already there, and if it's not
Impossible.
trust me, if that chemistry is not there now, trust it won't take more than 10 games to get there.
First of all, the podcast is ruined because they traded Devin Chinso. They ain't done a show since.
Shout outs to the Roommates podcast.
But then
Roommates
now it starts to become. Did you know? Well, did you know?
The roommates podcast never had DiVincenzo on it.
That's true. DiVincenzo was not a part of the Roommates podcast.
I stand. So okay, I stand corrected. All right, fair enough. So I have nothing for that. I wasn't prepared for a follow up.
Dr. Harden says the Knicks may surprise everyone. Cat may turn out. Now that's
That
huge
is-
because Dr. Harden has been down on the Knicks for years. So that says a lot.
A starting five consists of chemistry, cohesiveness.
The Knicks don't have chemistry yet. They have not gotten the court yet.
And
They haven't gotten the court.
There's not
Are
a
you
defined
basing that
roles.
off from what you seen in the camp? Like what? I don't know. Like because I agree with George. I can't necessarily say that they have that chemistry yet until they got on the court.
No, watching that first game the other night against Charlotte, again taking into account it is Charlotte. There I saw some good things, but I saw a lot of things that need work.
Of
The
course.
second unit looked a lot more cohesive than the first. To be perfectly honest with you,
Yeah.
from my vantage point, that
So
second unit looked strong.
let me ask y'all this as Knicks fans. So, what version of Cat are y'all anticipate that y'all are getting? Because if he plays in New York like he played in Minnesota, y'all are in trouble. Because at the
I
end of the
want to
day,
hear this question. I want to hear this answer.
because at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want about Randall, but when Randall was there, he was not afraid to go to play inside out. And Cat loves to play outside, barely in. So now, and you have him start at the five. So Mitchell Robinson's not going to be there doing the dirty work. So I'm very curious how you going to answer this
Pastor David
question.
Wright's in the building.
I think
I
This was my same question that I had in our little chat. I
I'm gonna
asked the same
answer.
question.
I'll answer that question by saying, I think it's disingenuous to say that you're going to get an inferior version of Cat. And I want to preface this by saying that, and Bishop L, Keisha, Pastor David, and Bishop J Mac. He stepped away, but they will tell you I was not high on this trade initially, and I'm not a Randall fan, but I did feel like it was a destruction to our chemistry and what we had built as a Knicks fan. But it's disingenuous for you to say, Phil, that there would be an issue with the player who is a four-time All-Star, a two-time All-NBA player, and you're worrying about what kind of version you're going to get. You're telling me that I just traded 25 and 10 for 25 and 10,
No, 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 no.
who happens to be younger and a better shooter.
It's
So
okay.
I
Sure.
can't. So I can't say that I'm getting a poor version of Cat unless he breaks down. So if you tell me that if I'm getting that version of Cat, that's a four-time All-Star, a two-time All-NBA player, I'm signing up for that.
So let me help you. So his role in Minnesota, he was able to do what he wants to do, which is be the best big shooting man ever because you got Gobert there, right? So
Okay.
he does not have to play inside. And that's the problem because he's a force inside. When he came into the league, he was 25 and 12 with with 2-3 blocks a game. We ain't seen that version of him in 4 years. So, and I'm saying you're losing Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup. You lost Hardelstein, and now you're replacing the dirty work that Randall does inside with a nigga who wants to
Wait,
hang
wait,
out on
wait.
the perimeter.
I gotta stop you there. As a Knicks fan, I'm gonna say this. What dirty work?
What dirty work?
Randall doesn't do dirty work.
Randall's a ball
There were
stopper.
Randall had way too many defensive lapses for my
Hold on.
liking over the course of the last 5 years. I watched Randall play Matador D more often than I would like to admit as a Knicks fan. So you're not. I don't think we're losing anything in terms of dirty work. The dirty work was done because you had Mitch, because you had Hardenstein, because you had a Josh Hart who was willing to get down there and mix it up with bigger guys. Randall would get you 10 rebounds a game, but quite honestly, as far as dirty work on a defensive end and as far as hitting the glass, nah. Not
So
Julius Randle.
let me answer the question. Dirty work isn't just defensive end. Dirty work is those loose balls, those
He
points
doesn't
that don't
doubt
have.
that Julius Randle never got on
He,
the floor for a loose ball in five
no,
years.
that's not true.
That is
And
very.
he-
I've watched over
5 years is
600 Knick games over the last 5 years, including the playoffs. Julius Randle never dove for a loose ball, and L will tell you I don't miss Knick games. I've seen every single one of them. I
did he
never
play?
saw Julius Randle on the
Did he
floor.
play more inside
Never.
out or outside in? Did he play more
He plays
inside out or
inside
outside
out by
in?
virtue of his game. He's
That's
a
my
better
whole
inside
point.
and mid-range scorer. So now
So
you've
you
got a
lose.
center who you okay. So you don't. I don't feel like you lose anything mid-range and inside because Cat can't play inside. What you've done
But if
now
he's
is you've given yourself the best shooting big man of this era right now, and you've allowed yourself to actually expand the floor, which allows your point guard, who pretty much gets in the lane at will, to be able to operate a little better. If anything, the Cat deal opens up the Knick offense and doesn't clog the lane up anymore.
so let me try it this way, because I think you're missing what I'm saying while also making my point. You with Randall, you also had Mitchell on the floor, and you had
Okay.
Hallstein. So he was able to roam more and not do a lot of the dirty work that he did his first year there because you didn't have Mitchell Robinson yet, right? So what I'm saying is we're taking Randall's willingness to play inside out. Grant Cat is a more talented basketball player. That's not my argument. What I'm saying is he is
Is it a
unwilling.
willingness if it's done out of necessity though? Because that's his game. We're not talking about a willingness to play in. Okay, let me go back then. Patrick Ewing, who was the Knicks center mid '80s to early '90s, started off as an inside presence, and
Right.
it evolved into probably one of the better shooting big men, if not the best shooting 7-footers of his era, because of a willingness to expand his game. Julius Randle plays inside out of necessity. He is a 34% three-point shooter for his career. Can he make some? Yes, he absolutely can. But his strength is in the post. His strength is in the mid-range. His strength is playing bully ball. He's playing it not out of a willingness. That's out of necessity. That is his game.
And I think that works for the culture that Thibs created. So if Towns has no interest in doing that, so I'm saying you lose that willingness. However we got there, you lose it, and you lose Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup.
I think we have to see that once we see him play without Mitch, because he hasn't had to play without Rudy Gobert for the last couple of years. He hasn't had to play without a 7-foot big. So we'll see. I don't think we know that as of yet.
I saw him shoot a 35-footer, so hey, he was happy about it. So
Listen, and it was a good shot, and he made it.
until he does
So
it.
he made it. First shot as a Knick, 35-footer, cash.
So then what happens with this catch and shoot guy? What happens with it'll be interesting. I'm gonna let it play out, but there are legitimate concerns for what Cat likes to do and what y'all may need him to do. And I think that's kind of where my position kind of rests.
I
Not
agree.
that he's not capable. Yeah.
I
love the
Listen,
I love the trade for y'all personally.
I don't
love the
disagree with
trade
that
for y'all.
take. I don't disagree with that take. But I will say we won't. We're one game into the preseason. We don't know what he's willing to do yet. we don't know. But we do know that the talent is there to
Yeah,
do
for sure.
whatever is asked of him. So if he's
sure.
willing to embrace that role of being the Robin to Jalen Brunson's Batman and pretty much do what's asked of him, and yes, to do the dirty work, then yes, then the Knicks will be fine. But we don't know yet. We're one game in. We're one preseason game in. Next preseason game tomorrow night against Washington.
So then we could say that we don't know the chemistry, right, Butler?
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't agree. I don't think that we know what chemistry looks like yet.
I don't think the chemistry is a lock, because I said I don't believe that it's going to take more than 10 games for that chemistry to get on point.
That's
really
right,
don't
because they played the YMCA together. I get it. I hear you.
Can you welcome my brother to the show? My brother James
White, what's
has
going
joined us from
on?
Houston, Texas.
Houston is
James,
in the
please
house.
help me. Please help me. Please. They're killing me, man.
Greetings, beloveds.
Welcome to the show.
We're
Thank
not
you
killing.
very much.
We're not
Glad to have
killing you,
you.
Phil.
Glad to have you, man.
It's just that take was flawed, bro. That take
wasn't.
you had was.
So
It was.
So can I? Am I making the consensus that 3 of you are Knicks fans?
Oh, I'm not a Knicks fan.
Okay, but the Bishops are.
She's
Knicks
just from
fans?
New York. She's from New York.
Okay, but the Bishops are Knicks fans.
Yes.
I'm a diehard Knicks fan.
That is correct. That is
Davies
correct.
a diehard Knick fan. D'Lo's a diehard Knick fan.
I just needed to know which way I needed to pray. So, I just needed to be known that I was
The
born
Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, I just Jesus. And I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. I want to speak positively tonight. But I'm just, brothers, I just want you to know that I'm praying for you. I'll support your positivity and your optimism. God bless you.
I'm sorry, I haven't heard your affiliation as of yet. Dr. White.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Oh no, we're here. We're at the bridge. We're right here, and that bridge is getting ready to get burned down. I'm waiting to hear it. No, we're here because you drove right to that bridge. So now we're at the cusp of it. What is your affiliation, sir?
You really did. You did.
You drove right to the edge of that bridge. You drove right to it.
Baby, come on, man.
I'm not quite sure what Davis got going on there. Maybe that's how he watches Knicks games. Quite possibly.
Davey.
You know he got to have on his Knick glasses.
Oh
Yeah,
my
listen.
gosh.
So what team do you roll with?
Since 1982, I have been a diehard Lakers fan, and that will never change. Ever change. Argue with somebody else. I've been there since the long socks and the short shorts. Okay.
Listen, I respect it.
All right. The days of AC Green and Michael Thompson and
I respect it.
Come on, Showtime. I'm there. Never left. All right. I was
All
there.
right.
Listen,
I absolutely
the Lakers
respect
is a great franchise. And
Is AC Green still a virgin?
Stop.
And
so it starts.
Davey, we got guests. We got
It
guests.
may be now because of lack of options. So
We got guests, Davey.
Pastor David Wright. We are in. We have guests in our home.
I will say this. The Lakers are one of the dopest franchises the NBA has had the privilege of. And I appreciate basketball a lot because of watching Laker games, watching Magic Johnson. I've always been a Knicks fan. And we've not won a championship since I've been alive. It's been 50, how many? 53 years now?
50, since 73.
51 years.
51 years. Okay. And I mean, it is what it is. But since you Laker fans are here, I do take pleasure in the fact that we won it against y'all.
Yeah, but you didn't see it.
I wasn't alive then. I didn't see that.
I don't have to see it. I don't have to see it.
Both times, right? Both times.
Like
I didn't listen. I didn't see
operating
Jesus
in a
turn
great
water to
brand.
wine, but I give God praise that he did it.
Yeah, tell my shot.
I'm glad. And he did it around that same time you won the championship. So, yeah, I support you, man. Listen, your level of faith and support, I think, is admirable. I also think it is admirable that AC Green lived through the 80s in LA, unfamed by the world. That's amazing. He has to be a eunuch. He must be.
Because it was available.
They call AC Green a eunuch.
Listen, he has to be. Man, they had the Forum Club. They were shipping them in at the Forum Club. They were right there.
That's true. Dr. Bus has some stuff going on at the Forum.
Listen, this man has to have. Even Kareem had white girls. Look,
Dr. Bus had Diddy parties before Diddy was born too.
I'm telling you something. Okay.
He didn't have no baby oil.
Didn't need it. He had the hair slick joint. He didn't need it. So, yeah. Listen, AC Green has the anatomy of a Ken doll, and has to be. He has to be missing a member. I'm just saying.
James, your take, please.
Okay,
Listen,
what we talking about for real?
We've been talking about these NBA predictions. I respect everybody's choices too. But I'm riding with my team. I really do believe that my team has a very good shot to come out of the East. I really believe that once that chemistry does become a lock, we got the factor that Cat played for Tibbs. I think that Cat wanted another opportunity to actually build that player-coach relationship with Tibbs. It just happened. It's a coincidence that it happened right after he talks about it on Club Shay Shay. I think the chemistry is going to lock in, and I really believe, hopefully, the Knicks will take advantage of Porzingis not being on the court up until All-Star break, get a jump in those standings, and lock in, get that cohesiveness going. I am loosely afraid of Philly because Philly will always give you a shot. Boston, again, they the champs. You got to respect the fact that they the champs, and so you can't just you're not winning that on a decision. You got to win it on a knockout.
You got to respect Boston. I'm not taking that. You don't have to respect Boston at all. All right, that was last year. I'm not respect Boston. Forget Boston. I hate the Celtics. I hate what they stand for. I hate the colors. I hate the uniforms. I hate the court. I hate the vending machines in the building. I hate the concession stands, the parking lot attendants,
listen.
The air conditioning.
Listen. We can rock. Because I hate all things Boston. All things Boston. I
hate the Red Sox. I hate the Bruins. I hate the Patriots.
I hate the New England franchise.
I
My
hate the Tea
God.
Yeah.
Party. I hate New Edition.
I hate
I
legal
hate
seafood. I
I
hate
hate
all of
New
it.
Matter of
Edition. It's
fact,
I hate
yeah,
crazy.
like I
Benzino.
cut,
Now I'm
I
gonna
cut
keep New
class.
Edition. I'm
You
gonna keep New
absolutely keep New
Edition.
Edition. I
I'm
can't stand the
keeping New
rain.
Edition.
Nope, I
I
can't
ain't with
stand the
you on
rain.
Keisha
that one.
says
You
she
lost
keeping.
me
You
there.
get Ronnie, Bobby, Richie
Mm-mm.
White, Ralph,
No,
even
you wasn't
Johnny ain't even
flowing by
from
the
there.
spirit with that
Get him
one.
out of there.
You was
Get
off.
him out of there.
You was
Get
in
him
the
I'm
out of
not
there.
negative with
rocking with
that
them
one.
neither. I'm
Mm-mm.
Get him
not
out of
rocking
there.
with. I'm not rocking with New Kids on the Block because ain't they from Massachusetts too?
Yeah, get him out of there.
Absolutely.
Yep, Marky
Oh,
Mark and all of
y'all
them.
definitely in the negative. I ain't wrong with
Get
y'all.
Benzino
No,
out of there. I'm out. Get him out of there.
Right, Pierre. You cannot hate New Edition.
no, you
Well,
I
cannot.
respect New Edition.
Cannot.
Listen, I
Cannot.
love Ricky Bell, man. Ricky Bell's Beijing game was like it was
top
top
notch.
notch.
It's top
Top
notch
notch.
for real. Like
It is top notch.
No, but what I'm saying is last year was last year, and I thought Boston got the break of breaks last year.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I think we all agree on that.
Absolutely.
I think we all
Everybody
agree
was
on that.
injured, all
Yeah.
right.
The entire
And
Eastern Conference was injured. So
now they did what they were supposed to do. You beat who's in front of you, you
Yeah.
know, and they did what they had to do. But I think they're going to have a lot more competition out of the East. I think the Knicks will be game competition for them. I think a healthy Joel Embiid is a problem. A healthy Joel Embiid is a top 3 player in this league. If he is healthy, you got Tyrese Maxey, roles are identified. Paul George comes in, doesn't rock the boat, contributes what he needs to contribute. The Sixers will be a problem. I think the Bucks have a year to adjust. You've got Dot with his ashy throat.
huh.
I don't know if he chews menthols or what. I don't know what's going on.
Lord, we got another Davy on here. Lord have mercy.
We don't need 2 Davies on here.
Listen, this man, I was about to say something very inappropriate, but it's Tuesday. But I think they have a time to jail and a more consistent purpose. Finding out how Damian Lillard and Chris Middleton can coexist together is an important thing because you're giving up something defensively when you have both of them on the court. More so than when Drew Holiday was there. But I think having time more to figure out what they want to be, figuring out their identity, and Dame's a bucket, and Giannis is Giannis. So the Bucks may make some noise. My sleeper team out of the East, though, I don't know if they're a sleeper really, but my sleeper team out of the East is the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
I think the Orlando Magic are trending in the right direction, and they made a very sneaky good move in the offseason when they picked up Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They needed veteran leadership and a defensive presence on that team. Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner are ultra talented.
Absolutely.
That is a nice squad. Now they have depth. They got the right mix of veteran leadership, and they can score and they can defend. I'm not saying they'll be champions. I'm just saying they can make some noise. So the East is going to be way more competitive than it was last year, and I do not expect the Boston Celtics to be in the championship again.
So I have a question about that really quickly because you said
Before you
your
say
sleeper
that,
team.
Phil, before you say that, Phil, I don't mean to cut you off. We got
All
to give
good.
New Edition. We got to give New Edition a pass. They from Orchard
I
Park
love
out of
New Edition.
Roxbury.
No, I love New Edition, man.
That's actually Brooklyn, Massachusetts.
Hey,
That's
man,
not Boston,
I was just saying
Massachusetts. That's Brooklyn, Massachusetts.
I was just joking. Miss Carter, I love you. Listen, I love No Edition. I grew up on No Edition, okay? All right, back when they had the wavy curl joints and Mike had like a curl shag at the back. You know, it was like a curl shag. It almost looked like a little helmet. You know, yeah.
It's a mullet.
Yeah, he had a
when Bobby needed
A wave
braces.
mullet.
Man.
Bobby needed a fence. He needed barbed wire. Okay.
That junk looked like a screen door in the hood. That junk
teeth was going like this. Okay. No man. Okay.
Phil, go ahead. Ask your question, Phil.
So I like Orlando as an upper. I don't think KCP is what they were missing to supplant, Miami, Milwaukee, Philly, New York, Boston. I don't think and arguably Indiana. I think it's gonna take a lot more than unless Banchero becomes a top 15 player, you know what I'm saying, and Wagner becomes an all-star. Just getting KCP and another year of experience, I don't think that's enough to make any real noise.
I'm about to get the Knicks fans back on my side. What do y'all
I'm
see in
waiting.
Indiana?
I'm about to hit you with something.
What do y'all see in Indiana? What do y'all see there? What do
I
y'all see?
They
honestly,
just get it done.
I
They
think, I
just get
think,
it. I don't know how, but they just get it done.
I think Indiana
Do
was a
they
fluke last
though?
year. I think Indiana was a fluke last year. I really do. I think Indiana was a fluke because nobody shoots 60% from the field for the entire playoffs. Nobody.
Not
That
only
was a
that,
fluke.
Bishop, but they caught an injured Bucks team in the first round,
Uh huh.
and then they caught an
An injured
injured
Knicks
Knicks
team.
team in the second round,
Mm-hmm.
and then they embarrassed themselves.
And
And,
against a healthy Boston team, right?
reality showed up. All right, I mean they were literally a 7 seed team. Okay, so no,
Yep.
I don't expect they will score, but they can't defend anybody
No, they can't guard a
at all.
lamp
And
post.
that's with Miles Turner at center, and they still can't defend anybody. So no, I mean they're a good
Indiana
regular
left
season
out of there
team.
like this past September.
And Miles Turner's
Gone.
kind of zesty.
Okay,
Miles,
so you
Miles,
yeah.
Miles Turner was out there dressing like Coleman Domingo when out there
so who
dressing like Mister for the color purple, and they talk about I'm the five for the Indiana Pacers. Yo, get out my face.
why did y'all say they shot 60% from three for the whole playoffs? That didn't happen.
They,
They
they,
shot 30. They shot 34% in the first round and 1-6 against Milwaukee. And then in the second round, they shot the Knicks series. That was injuries. I'll give y'all that. That was straight up injuries. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like they were supposed to win that series.
So was
But
the
I do.
Bucks.
So was Milwaukee.
Ah, mm,
Yeah.
yeah, no
Yeah,
uh,
Giannis,
the
no
Yeah.
Bucks.
Dame.
The Bucks should have. The Bucks should have won that series. They're they're like I don't. We've seen Dame do more with less than what he had with Milwaukee. So they shouldn't have lost. And like the Pacers just shot something crazy. I think the Bucks underachieved.
the Pacers added nobody.
That
I don't
I
see.
true. That's fair.
I didn't see Tyrese get any better than what I saw of him last year. I mean, for lack of better words, they've plateaued in my opinion. I don't see I don't see where the growth is going to come from that's going to hinder Orlando. I don't see where the growth is going to come from that's going to hinder Cleveland. I just don't see it. Like
I mean, how did they get into this
unless they
conversation? I don't think anyone said that they were anything
no, because
more than they.
you were unimpressed with Orlando, and I'm just
Well,
saying
I would put them on the same. I would put them in the
I'm more
same.
impressed with Orlando getting KCP and adding to that nucleus is way more impressive than the nothing that Indiana has done. Way more impressive than their postseason run, which was pretty like milk toast at the end of the day. I mean, they just benefited from who they went against. I just don't see them doing anything better.
I don't know if Orlando can beat
Can we
Indiana in
talk
a
about
playoff
this?
series.
You don't know if what?
I don't know if Orlando can beat Indiana in a playoff series
Phil,
definitively.
you can't just say stuff to win arguments, bro. You
All
don't
right, cool.
know if the Orlando Magic could beat. All right, I'm
Neither
David, go ahead.
Orlando,
Go ahead, Dave.
neither Orlando nor Indiana got a chance. It don't matter. It's cute, but it don't matter. The Knicks got better with this trade. We're gonna get back to that. I almost wet my pants when I saw Carl Anthony
Whoa,
Towns
whoa,
You should
shoot
say
from
that.
the logo. The man
You should say
shot
that,
whoa,
from
Willie.
the logo.
This is
whoa,
this is
Dave.
live. This is
Right,
live.
He
this is
shot from,
right. Remind him again, James.
This is live. People are watching.
oh, okay, yeah.
No,
He shot from the
Diddy.
logo with ease. With
But well, at least
ease.
he didn't say he
And
went and got his baby oil. So you
you know,
know.
he ain't had no baby on him. But he's shooting for the logo with ease. And then a couple of plays later, he took it to the rack from the top of the key. And what we missing here, I know we went out and got Carl Anthony Towns and got this and got that. And we talk about Mitchell Robinson. I don't know why, but we'll get to that. But we got some slashes. When that floor is open like that, Bridges is a slasher.
true.
OG is a slasher. Remember the run we went on when OG came and was playing with no practices, with no training camp. We were 15-2 with OG in the lineup. Y'all remember that?
Absolutely.
Now OG is here, got a whole training camp under. We paying him $40 million. We got the best. I ain't never seen a team who had the best defensive team and it's looking like the best offensive team. We we not worried about all these other folks. And the Knicks is not just trying to win this year. We setting up for a dynasty. I hated to lose DiVincenzo, but when I saw Deuce McBride, he's getting the minutes that DiVincenzo was hiding from. Deuce McBride gonna do some stuff this year.
I kept saying we still got Deuce coming off that bench.
Deuce
Everybody,
McBride gonna average the same thing that Dante DiVincenzo did. And he's a dog. Talking about toughness. Deuce is tough. Deuce is tough. And if Mitchell Robinson comes back healthy, who's to say we're not going to put Mitch and Carl in the lineup at the same time? They might put Carl at the 4 and let Mitch run the center. Maybe. Either way, this is a dynasty. This ain't no 1 year runoff. This is a dynasty. We went in. We haven't had a 4-peat in the NBA, and I can't remember. We going not 1, not
happened.
2, not 3, not 4,
okay,
not
LeBron.
5. 6 championships.
So I would just like to say, based on his take, I think, and this may be my last time here. Thank you for having me. I would ask for us to put him on a bathroom watch, because if he's wetting his pants on a preseason game, then we may have an IBM situation for the regular season, and I think he should be supervised in that. I don't know if we got male diapers that we can order. I don't want you to drink anything during the game at all. Okay? Because you are not of the age where this is appropriate for you to wet yourself over preseason shots. It's very concerning to me. Very concerning. Please wear jumpers or something, or a hazmat suit. I don't know. Or don't sit down. Maybe just walk around when you watch.
Prove your point. Prove your point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want them to be careful. Because we can't be this excited over the preseason. We just cannot. We're just not yet. I will say this though. In all seriousness, basketball is better when the Knicks are good. Okay,
Absolutely. Very true.
When the Knicks are good, basketball is better. And I just think right now in the league is parity, man. I mean, East
Absolutely.
or West,
it's wide open.
It's wide open.
Wide open. The era of the super team is over, and we are definitely into an era where there are multiple teams in either conference that, if things break right, they can walk away with the Larry O'Brien Trophy. So, it's going to be fun to watch, good to look at. We didn't really get into nothing else we wanted to talk to today because we kind of got stuck on this. Gary, welcome back. We missed you.
Man, I came back today talking. I'm about to go again.
Gary, you sounding like Don Rivers over there.
My man was working. He was producing.
Got that tobacco in his throat.
I feel like setting my stuff up right now and getting some tracks going.
So they were asking for your predictions, your way too early predictions for who's coming out the East and West, Gary.
The Knicks coming out with 70 wins.
The Lakers. Dave, mute. Hey, can somebody mute Dave for me, please? Mute Dave. Keyboard.
Yeah.
Mute the board.
Oh my gosh. Davey.
That's it.
Davey.
Speak those things. Speak
go
those
ahead, Gary.
things.
Stop it, man.
Go ahead, Gary. What you got?
I'll give y'all one better. I'll give you the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals.
Okay. What you got?
I got Lakers and in Denver. I got Lakers.
Okay, so you got Denver going to the finals? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got
Yo, the comedy that's happening on this show today is good stuff. This is good television. This is good television.
Oh my God!
If Davies on here, we're good. Who is Pierre?
Ooh.
The Lakers.
The Lakers are not going to the West. All right, go ahead, Gary.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I don't even care who they play. Lakers and Boston is what I see. Wow. Lakers and Boston is what I see.
Wow.
And matter of
Boston
fact, I give
again?
you one. I give you one more. I give you one better. Oh yeah, Boston's going back. Nobody's better than that team. They're built. They're and to be honest with you, and I'm just being honest. I don't believe anybody's going to beat them. Lakers, Dallas, Memphis,
Boston
Denver. I
ran
don't.
into a perfect storm last year.
No man, I believe those dudes they have a well-oiled situation happening, man, and I think they're starting to come together at the right time. The bench included. I like the coach.
Well,
I
firstly,
like the
that bench is
team.
not deep.
They don't have to be deep as long as they can go 7 to 8. They're straight,
Un, un, un,
especially
un,
in the playoffs.
until Drew Holiday goes down for a month.
Jesus.
Until
Stop,
Derek White
man.
goes down for no, this is what I'm saying because we always say benches don't have to be deep. This ain't 2K, where if somebody gets injured, you hit the reset button and you can act like it never happened.
Listen, Boston going to get off to a slow start because they had 4 players out there in the Olympics, and they didn't get that rest up in the summer. They had 4 players out there,
4
and they're going to get off to a slow start. What they had: Derek White, they had Drew Holiday, they had Tatum,
and Tatum
they
3.
had
They had
3
3.
players
The
out
3.
there.
Right. They didn't take
They
Jalen
go
Brown because Nike didn't want him.
But Jay Harley ever played. Derek was a reserve. Drew had a couple of minutes, but those boys are built different now, David. We're not talking about the days of old. You know, them dudes are built different, man. They take care of their bodies now, so they're in shape. They're built for it. They're built for it. So I don't exactly. He didn't play in the Olympics, so
The
I believe
Celtics would have won last year had the Knicks had they not ran into all these injuries. The Celtics would have been champs.
man. If the Lakers had Michael Jordan, they would go undefeated. We can't go on ifs. We can only go on what happened.
You're exactly, and what you're saying is they're gonna run into this perfect storm again because what actually happened was you had a lot of the elite teams or the top tier Eastern Conference teams that could have at least given them a run. I'm not even gonna say they would have beaten Boston, but the teams that could have given Boston a run were injured last year. So you're telling me that they're gonna get this perfect storm again because Philly's better, New York is better. Orlando's better. Everybody who is a legit contender got better.
You believe in Philly now?
I don't believe in Philly, but I'm not going to say that they're not a legit contender. I'm a realist.
You believe Philly can be? You believe as they are right now? No trades, nothing happening just as they are. With the addition of Paul George, that team can beat Boston as is 4 out of 7 games.
Do I believe that all things being equal? No, I don't. I will honestly say I don't. But I do believe that they've got a legit shot at it. I think Philly is good enough with Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George to where that's going to be a fun series. And if they're healthy and if things break again, it still depends on if things break the right way. Healthy or not, if you ain't making shots, it don't matter. If you're not getting rebounds and you're committing turnovers in the fourth quarter, then if I gotta choose Nick Nurse versus if it comes down to coaching, where it's Nick Nurse versus what's Boston's coach's name? I can't think of it right now.
Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla. I mean, I'm picking Nick Nurse. I think Nick Nurse is a better coach than Joe Mazzulla. So there are a number of factors. So I'm not going to say that Philly's not in the conversation. Do I believe in them personally? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to sit here and say that they can't do it.
What was the last place Nick Nurse coached before this place before he got to Philly?
Toronto.
He won a championship.
Yeah, that was in 2019.
Yes.
He got fired that next year, right?
No.
He didn't get fired the following year.
No.
So he got fired 2 years after the championship.
Okay.
I think 3, but what's the point?
And Joe Mazzulla got his job because Ime Udoka couldn't keep his penis in his pants.
Exactly.
There you go.
And he still
that doesn't mean that Joe Mazzulla is a better Ime Udoka is a better coach than Joe Mazzulla in my opinion.
Jerry Jones was checking him out
he still has the job.
Okay, but again, when it comes down to coaching, Nick Nurse is a better X's and O's coach
That man
than
slept with the
Joe
oldest wife.
Mazzulla.
He slept.
Joe still has his job.
He slept with Potiphar's wife.
And make
Stop.
And Udoka don't have his girl.
They said it was 8 inches.
Well, listen, Udoka was a fool. You cheated on Nia Long. You idiot. But still, I don't know what
coach. He can't be the better coach.
He's a better coach than he is fiance, clearly. But Udoka's a good coach.
He can't even coach at his crib. He let bow-leg Neil Long get away.
I agree with you, Gary. I am 100% in your corner.
And that's why
with
I have
that
no faith in the Rockets at all. I'm sorry. I don't care who they bring to that place.
No, I do not.
I have no faith. Absolutely no.
They would be exciting.
That fella down there, James, don't you live in Houston? He's from Houston, right?
We both do.
They both live in Houston.
I love Houston.
I love Houston.
Because I agree, you got to be a fool to let your stuff get in the way of probably one of the best jobs in the NBA.
Right.
Like you're a fool. Like there are certain franchises, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Celtics. You get those coaching jobs, you don't ever want to lose them.
Sir, you have not been to Houston. Then Udoka's doing very well for himself.
Oh no, he's doing great. No. Again, I'll be the first to say I think Ime Udoka is a great coach.
The man's got a lot of food options down here. Okay.
No, I've been to Houston. I used to come to Houston for a conference annually. So trust me, I know about Houston's food options. I do.
Not the food.
I'm being politically correct. There's lots of food options. There are lots of food options, and yes, there absolutely are. I am in total agreement with that.
We talking about chicken breast and thighs, we talking about chicken breast and thighs.
What is Dwight Howard in Houston too?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
That's a different type of food.
Oh God.
Why you where you going?
Oh God.
Dwight Howard has
George, come back.
Yeah.
This is what happens when we let Davey loose. This is what happens when we let Davey loose.
Davey, no.
Yeah.
Okay? No.
I'm not. I'm fine.
That boy Dwight Howard said, "Get out my business. What I do in my house."
He didn't say what I do in my house.
I'm mad. Dwight Howard was in New York last week on camera talking about, I heard the Knicks need a backup center. Not you, sir. Not you. Not you. Yeah. No, sir.
That's not
I'm telling you, man. Dwight Howard ain't been to New York until we got Karl Anthony Towns. Once we got him, all of a sudden, Dwight Howard just showed up downtown.
Stop, Davey.
I don't understand that. Nigga. It still bothers me.
Hey, Davey, don't be surprised. He came there for the cat.
Yo.
It still bothers me because he wasn't coming around when Julius Randle was running around here.
No, Julius Randle wasn't the cat. He got the cat there now, dog.
Cat got a nice, pretty girlfriend, okay? We're not going to put him in that category.
He coming for the cat.
Listen, I've known plenty of people with pretty girlfriends that dabbled in other things. So I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, Keish.
But let me stop.
You know, a couple of them in the church.
Stop.
Let me keep it a buck, dog. I gotta be fair. I'm gonna do White House. JW.
Minnesota.
He did.
Minnesota is beating Connecticut 65-41 in the third quarter. Looks like it may be a Minnesota-New York finals.
Yeah, okay.
For the WNBA.
That's what's up.
I like that matchup. I think this is the year the Liberty finally win a title. And they've been good since the inception of the WNBA.
Mm-hmm. But listen, Nafisa Collier is playing out of her mind, though.
She's a beast. She's a beast. And Cheryl Reeve is the best coach in the WNBA still. So that would not be an easy out. Minnesota will. They're tough.
No, they won't. They won't.
No, I don't think there'd be an easy out at all. I just feel like, first of all, getting out of Madison Square Garden and breaking that curse and going over to the Barclays kind of helped the Liberty a little bit. The curse may be over now that we got Patrick Ewing back on staff.
We need to talk about it. The curse is broken.
He should have
Curse is
never been.
broken.
He should have always been there. How you let that
Right.
dude leave?
But you know, I
Watch it.
think I think the Liberty are gonna win this, and that's gonna be good for the city. That's gonna be good for Brooklyn.
And did y'all
It's
see what the
gonna be good
Mets
for New
did
York. It's
tonight?
gonna be good for
Did
New
y'all
York.
see what the Mets did?
Yeah, the Mets went up 2-1 on Philadelphia in the series with their
Mets
win today.
2-1 in that Philly series. That's a
New
good.
York has been in a dire strait of we hadn't had a champion,
My God.
and it's coming around this year.
Dude.
The Liberty gonna win it. The Mets and the Yankees gonna be in the World Series, and the Knicks.
I don't know about
Don't David. Don't say
That
that.
Knicks had
about the
authority on it. That Knicks had authority. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
I'm
the
scared.
Knicks.
I'm scared.
He sound
about,
like he's about to take a text.
well, let me say this, Davey. I can't run no shorts on the Mets, and I'm not a Met fan. I'm nervous about the Yankees. And the reason why I'm nervous about the Yankees is because the Yankees don't have the pitching that they need. They're relying on the long ball. They're relying on the offense. And it has been proven that offense don't win championships in the Major League Baseball. It's never been that way. It's always been pitching. It's always been defense. I'm looking at the game the other day, the game that we won, game one, that the Yankees won. When in the world do you remember that you needed 7-8 runs? The Yankees needed 7-8 runs to win any kind of game. If you had a 3-2, 4-2 lead back in the day with the Yankees, that bullpen was coming out 6-7. That bullpen was coming
It was a
out.
6 inning. It was a 6 inning game. You had your starter go 6, and then you turned it over to that bullpen. Jeff Nelson and John Wetland and Mariano Rivera and that group. They made it all 6 inning games. That doesn't exist anymore.
Don't exist no more. And let's just be frank. No, I mean, I don't think there's anybody that has the power arms in the league as pictures like that era. But bats fall asleep a whole lot quicker than somebody who's playing every 3 days, as opposed to someone playing every single day. You got to swing that bat every single day. You got to wait for it to start clicking. Somebody watching the way you swinging and watching what you swinging at every 3, they coming back on that mound that next start, and they got your number. You got to get lucky at the plate, but you just got to be sharp on the mound. And
I think analytics has hurt the game of baseball because it's feast or famine. You're swinging for the fences, but the strategy of baseball is gone, and strategy is what won in the playoffs. Because you had a lot of 2-1, 1-0 games in the playoffs, so it came down to matchups and what pitchers you have in the bullpen to face what hitters, and
So but I know the Yankees gonna get by these Royals. They gonna get by the Royals.
I don't think so. We can't make a guarantee on that. You can't make a guarantee on that, and the reason why you can't make a guarantee on that, those scores are way too high. Those scores are way too high. Way too high. And we don't have the
if Soto and Judge don't hit, the Yankees are in trouble.
Yeah, we don't have the bullpen to be able to keep those scores low. And Garrett Cole, Jesus Christ! Oh my goodness, Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole, as dominant as he is, has always been a big home run pitcher as far as giving up home runs. So you gotta take the good with the bad with him. He's gonna give up a bomb at some point in a game because he's one, like you said, he's the last of the dying breed of those live arms. And with the hitters, their bats are a lot quicker, and that's what they train for. They train for guys who are going to hit these long home runs. That's why you see a lot more junk ballers in the major leagues now. Guys don't throw the days of the Dwight Gooden 97 plus fastball with a 12-6 curveball, and that's all you needed. Those days are over because you need guys with a lot of different off-speed pitches, because these players that are coming up now are geared to hit the fastball. They're geared to hit it. That's what they're.
You need
that's
one
what
of those Chinese
looking
people.
for.
They throw 105 miles per hour.
Right, but these guys nowadays, Aaron Judge will turn a 105 mile per hour fastball around and hit it 110 miles per hour out the other way.
I think it's different now. What we're saying based on when we saw baseball 20 or 25 years ago.
Yeah.
You don't have those dominant arms anymore. You got these starters are only going 5 and 3rd basically, and then on likewise, very few of these teams have guys that can generate offense when their main guys aren't doing it. I think the thing is with Judge and my other guy, what's his name?
Juan Soto.
Feast of famine, because they're always looking for the long ball. You know what I mean? And so they don't generate singles and doubles, and keep the game going.
Yeah, like Wade Boggs is gone.
You know what I'm saying? Those guys aren't here anymore. And so the team that does
Tony Gwynn, guys like that, gone.
Now the Mets actually do a good job of that. They are hard out, especially when they have their DH there. And so they have a way of generating runs, which causes a lot of problems.
Yes.
So to me, I would look at the Mets or the Dodgers being the favorites to win it all, because the Dodgers just 1 through 9, you have a hard time getting outs on that particular group. Shohei Ohtani was built in a lab somewhere.
Right.
Right. They needs to be drug tested and everything else, because it's not normal. But their lineup, the way they structured it, they're hard out. So it's parity in all of these leagues right now. It's parity.
And that's what I'm saying about New York. We are legacy city. Soon as the Mets retired, who they retired their jersey?
They retired Darryl and Doc this year.
And I know they did the crack and stuff, but they said we still gonna bring it back and put their names in. Like, as soon as the Knicks, we gonna bring Patrick Ewing back. If the Knicks let Charles Oakley just do security, you can write it down. You can hit us for the championship. We're a legacy city.
It's a lot going on.
We are legacy city. When the Yankees made peace with Reggie Jackson, all of a sudden we won all them championships. We got to go back and do right by people. And when we do that, we made it right with them crackheads. And watch what happened with these men.
He said it is better for Charles Oakley to be a doorkeeper in the house.
A doorkeeper at the Garden.
He's gonna get no front office
It's
stuff.
better that Oakley be a doorkeeper at the Garden.
They're gonna let Oakley come in and check ticket stuff. As long as he in the building.
Oh, David.
Listen, I said, I like what I'm seeing from the Mets, although I'm not a Met fan.
Oh man,
I'm very nervous about the
It
Yankees.
is better,
lost.
Wow.
Yankees lost home field advantage losing that game yesterday.
Yeah.
And if they lose to the Royals again, it's on. It's over.
The Royals are tough.
The Royals are tough, but the two toughest outs were knocked out by Detroit and by the Royals early on in Houston and Baltimore. Those are the two teams that give the Yankees the biggest fits. And for them to get knocked out and for the Yankees not to see this and go, okay, we need to just run through the rest of the American League, that's a problem.
They got to generate runs, man.
You got to.
Long way.
You got to generate runs.
Judge and Soto can't do it alone.
Yeah. But I'm saying the main guys. I mean, I came up with when your power hitters weren't just power hitters. They knew how to play. You know what I mean?
Remember, those Yankee teams in the 90s, 1 through 9, you were like, oh, my God. There are no outs in this lineup.
Look, okay, so I'm a Braves fan, right?
Oh, yeah, so you understand.
So, y'all were doubling us to death. Oh, my God.
Yes. Everything was hitting the gap. Everything was in the gap.
How many doubles are there in the game? Ain't there a limit to how many doubles you can hit? Like, y'all were just doubling us. And we had the trinity of pitchers. We had Maddox and
Glavine and Smoltz. Yep.
And y'all was still doubling us to death. I hate
three of the best arms in Major League Baseball history.
Jesus, Chuck Knobloch getting doubles.
And that was it. When Chuck Knobloch, who was not a slouch, was our number 9 hitter. Right. That tells you something. He was the Yankees' number 9 hitter.
But he's getting 2-out doubles.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean that day isn't here anymore. I don't know. So it's
going on the days.
We'll see.
Going on the days. How y'all feel
Scott
about
Brocious hitting game-winning home runs?
Paul O'Neill. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Paul O'Neill.
How y'all feel about this situation happening over in Gotham City football? The Jets.
That ain't my
It's
team.
the
They're gonna
Aaron Rodgers, LeBron
they're gonna be
James
all
effect.
right. They're gonna be all right, man.
The Jets are going to be okay. I
The
feel
crazy thing
like
is,
I
the
knew
cra-
that Saleh and Rodgers didn't get along, so I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers got Robert Saleh fired.
the crazy thing is
He
if
did.
the Jets win Monday against the Bills, they're first place in AFC East.
Well, the AFC East is wide open because it's trash this year. The Patriots are bad. The Dolphins are mediocre. The Bills are mediocre. The
They're
AFC
gonna
East
be
is bad.
the Jets will be fine.
So this
Oh,
new coach.
he got fired.
Yeah, Saleh was fired
Saleh
today.
got
Saleh was
fired.
fired this morning.
And I don't think
Outta
that he
here,
got
man.
fired. I don't think he got fired because of Aaron Rodgers.
He
Yes,
did.
he did.
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
he did.
Yes,
Yes, he
They
did.
did, bro.
Yes, he
Bro,
did.
L,
They didn't
Yo,
let him say
Yes,
the
he
goodbye.
did.
the writing was on the wall from that first game.
let me
Yes,
ask
he
this
did.
question. So nobody
Oh,
thinks
Davy's phone died.
nobody
Yeah, just
nobody
Hurry up,
thinks that
Davey.
nobody thinks that 20 and 34 is a reason to get fired over the last couple of years.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Okay. So last year, first play, what happened?
Fourth play.
Davey,
Fourth
don't
play.
you start.
And so you're asking Robert Saleh to win with Zach Wilson. He should have gotten an extension just
Right.
for that alone.
Right.
Okay. All right. And so coming into this year, they were 2-3. You know how many teams are 2-3 right now in the league?
Oh yeah, that's
Major
another
big
league where there's
team.
a bunch of parity.
Major team. Major team.
Major teams
Aaron
are 2-3 in
Rodgers
the league.
ran. So Aaron Rodgers ran this dude out.
Yes.
Got him up
Yes.
out of there.
Yes.
And this
He
is the
ran
thing.
him out of there.
And here's the thing with that. If you're putting all of your eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket, there are no excuses if he doesn't deliver.
Exactly.
There are none. Because what they're trying to say is, as an organization, is that they were Super Bowl ready, and the thing that was holding them back as a head coach. If you're going to take that particular mode, then Aaron Rodgers has to lead you to the promised land,
Yep.
and there can be no
Agreed.
excuses
Agreed.
whatsoever.
Agreed.
No excuses.
Facts.
I'm gonna
Agreed.
prove to you it was Aaron Rodgers. The report also came out that Robert Saleh was actually considering relieving offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett of his duties before he got the axe. That is Aaron Rodgers' boy.
That won't even happen.
The first thing they did after they signed Aaron Rodgers is they went and got his offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett. That's the first thing that they did. So they are joined at the hip. Rodgers is like, oh no, you're not getting my boy fired. You're gonna get fired. I'm going to Woody.
See, I don't
Hey,
like,
so
I don't like that.
everybody's in
That's what I
agreement.
found.
Everybody's in agreement that Aaron Rodgers got him fired.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
my girl is playing. You hear me?
Who, Nafisa?
Yes.
Nafisa's a beast. Nafisa's a beast.
I'm gonna say this though, Bishops. Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco have the same amount of championships. Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson have the same amount of championships.
True.
And we give a lot of country to Aaron Rodgers. We give a lot of carte blanche to Aaron Rodgers.
And Russell Wilson doesn't get the amount of credit he deserves.
Well, but what I'm saying is he's only won one of them. But yet he gets to run the franchise. He doesn't have to show up to minicamp. He doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to participate with any of this other stuff.
And Russell Wilson's a backup in Pittsburgh.
But they let him run the coach off. Okay? The privilege is real.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
It is real. And Eli has more rings than Rodgers. He only has one.
One.
Trent Dilfer got one. Okay?
Right. They make it seem like he's Roethlisberger
Like he's the
or something.
Messiah.
Hey,
He's gonna
Eddie
lead
Curry has one
Like
ring.
he's Joe Montana.
I'm still puzzled.
Eddie Curry has one ring, Davey.
We lost Davey. David's phone died.
Nah, he's still on.
I'm still puzzled.
He's on
still
Facebook.
puzzled at how. I'm still puzzled at how we didn't wait for Geno Smith. That's a problem. To see Geno Smith playing the way that he's playing right now, nobody. First of all,
That was a development issue because Geno didn't look like he was an NFL ready quarterback when he was a Jet.
When we drafted him,
Yeah, he was nice.
when we drafted him, that was the whole thing. Like everybody was like, "This guy is the dude." When we drafted him,
He had the potential, but they didn't develop him. That's been one of the Jets' problems for years. They don't develop quarterbacks.
Hey, so I was just wondering, can I ask a question about a quarterback right quick?
Of course.
And, my $150 boys, y'all chill out. And please don't say nothing.
Oh.
JW, hold up. I promise you.
Oh, we gonna talk about it? Oh, we gonna talk about it? Cause I already know where you about to go.
Wait, they don't
It's
went
not
off
what
the
you
camera.
think.
This is gonna be
It's
serious.
not what you think. It's not what you think. But go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
What's the question, Gary? I can't hear you, Gary.
Can you hear me?
All right, there we
God
go.
blocked it. God blocked it. He wouldn't let it be.
Not God blocked it. Go ahead, Gary.
Bryce, hey, JW, get back on the phone, dog. Hey, what are y'all doing, man?
Go ahead. Just go ahead, man.
Bryce Young. Was he benched rightfully?
All right. Gary has an art against Bryce Young for some reason.
Clearly.
I don't know what happened.
Clearly.
He tried to let him know it's the infrastructure around him. The team's not good enough. And then Sam Darnold went up there and then won one game. And he was like, see? But that's just one of the issues that we have on our show. He wanted to get it.
Let me keep it a buck. No. Let me keep it
so
a
you
buck with
saying G
everybody.
has a problem with Bryce Young, like Carter over here got a problem with Angel Reese.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. That's the exact equivalent.
Comparison.
Time out.
Uh-oh.
I don't believe Bryce Young quarterback for the NFL. I believe Angel Reese belongs in the WNBA. She needs to get more skilled.
Okay.
She definitely needs to get more skilled. Like she's a great rebounder. She plays great defense. But when it comes to the offensive end,
rebounds off of her missed shots. Yeah.
but she doesn't have an offensive game. So nothing about her offensive game scares me at all. I will leave her wide open. But Bryce Young, on the other hand, what I was trying to explain to the fellas in the chat is I don't have any personal vendetta against my guy.
Yes,
I do not have any. I don't know. I have a personal vendetta against Stephen Curry. I don't have a personal vendetta. I don't have a personal vendetta.
I like him. Bring him back.
Towards. I'll be back. I don't have a problem with Bryce Young. I'm just saying, if you look at him, nothing about his game says I am an NFL quarterback, and it was proven the following week after he was benched when a real quarterback went in there and he was able to score points. I don't even remember if they won or not, but they scored points. They moved the ball. Even as they're losing just recently, they were moving the ball. They were scoring points. His first 2 games, he had 13 points, and he had a 3-yard touchdown and 2 field goals in 2 games. The last 2 games they played, I believe, last 2 or 3 games they played, they scored multiple points. I just don't believe my guy is an NFL quarterback.
James is tired.
He'll be fine. And they'll be a fool to let him go because, as we see in today's NFL, there's a lot of reclamation projects that are going on right now as we speak.
Baker Mayfield was a quarterback. He was a quarterback. Sam
Darnold.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. He was not.
Oh, so
Sam Darnold is playing well right now.
These are all people that had horrible starts.
He just got better.
He got better.
So I saw flashes when Sam Darnold was the Jet, though. I thought Sam Darnold was going to be good.
Bishop,
I think the Jets gave up on him.
You off his Keanu Henderson right now, Gary. Cut it out.
I just need to reiterate that the same Andy Dalton that came in to beat the Raiders got benched for Bryce Young on Sunday. I just want to bring that back up. That Andy Dalton got benched because they were getting blown out and he couldn't find a receiver, and he got benched for Bryce Young this Sunday. Okay, the Panthers are bad.
Who's going to play Sunday? Who's going to play Sunday?
Okay, so I don't know who's going to play Sunday, and I don't think we should care because what should have happened when Bryce Young was drafted, he should not have played that season. Right. He should not have played this season. The only reason why they played that man and started that man from day one is because Houston was doing the same thing with C.J. Stroud. Bryce Young should have developed. That team is not only bad,
but is in a position to be bad for at least 3 years. They have nothing there on any side of the ball. They traded away a wide receiver to get Bryce Young, along with other picks. Not only are they depleted with picks, they have a porous running game. They switched offensive coordinators 3 times in the past season, had no defense, and the best defensive players either left or they traded them. All right? That franchise, they had no first-round draft pick or second-round draft pick this year. They got a wide receiver in the 3rd round who hasn't seen the field yet. That franchise is awful. No player would have done that. They beat the Raiders because the Raiders beat themselves. They have not shown up since. Okay? Does Bryce Young deserve to start right now? No. To save his career, absolutely. He needs to be on the bench because he's not going to develop with a terrible team. Sam Darnold has wide receivers to throw to. Baker Mayfield has wide receivers to go to. Who is there to catch the ball in Carolina? They are not there. There's no one there at all. And whenever they get good players in Carolina, the good players leave. Either they leave or they retire. That is a horrible franchise, has been one for several years, and don't have any prospect to get better. So Bryce Young would not even help them. It's not even a fair evaluation to evaluate him on a team like that. At all.
You evaluate him, JW, based upon the fact that he can't play the quarterback position.
Can we stop talking about the Panthers now, please?
Please.
Ooh, George is tired.
Because they bad. The Panthers are bad.
They're horrible.
It was never about the Panthers. I was speaking about the quarterback.
It was about Bryce Young. Yeah, right.
If Joe
Gary, it was about Bryce Young.
Was playing for the Panthers, they would have do the same thing. They were not going to win. They're not going to do anything.
It's not about winning, JW. Like if y'all would just hear my point. I'm not saying anything about the team. I'm not saying anything about his team. Just looking at him as a
talk about him by himself without talking about his
daggone
team.
I can't tell if this is 150. Now I feel like we have 150. Y'all got to let me finish.
Yes, you can't talk about the man without talking about the team.
Only 3 people in America talking about Bryce Young right now.
Right, a cold shiver just went down.
Only podcast in America when we talk about Bryce Young.
Bryce Young's parents aren't talking about Bryce Young right now.
But we're talking about Bryce Young because he's in the NFL and he's considered a number one. Well, he was a number 1 draft pick. All overall.
We're talking about Bryce Young because you brought him up. No one else was bring up Bryce Young.
That's what we talking about, Bryce Young.
He had to get it off his chest.
And that's even better. I brought it up, so it should be respected. Can we do that? All right,
Go ahead.
Bryce Young is not a professional quarterback. My point that I was trying to drive on to the churchy guys, and the churchy gals, since y'all would listen. Oh man, if I wish I was on the other podcast. There's some things I want to say, but I won't.
Keep it PG.
Yeah, absolutely. The point I was driving home was that you can look at certain players, even when they're on bad teams, and you can tell that they are good. They just need an opportunity. They're going to get better if they get the right things around them. Looking at that guy play, there's nothing that says if I had him with a number 1 receiver and a number 1 running back, a great defense, he's going to lead me to the Super Bowl. Nothing. That's my point. Not that his team is bad. No, just look at him. There have been players that we've been able to say, you know what, if he gets with a better team, based upon the way he's showing us what he's doing on the field, what he's doing on the basketball court, what he's doing on the diamond, he's going to be fine. If we all be honest, you can see it. Look at this kid and see that he's going to be a janitor in about a year or 2.
I think we got here because we were talking about Geno Smith, and I see
who's literally was in the same. People were talking about Geno Smith the same daggone exact way.
That's true. There were a lot of people that said that Geno Smith was not an NFL quarterback.
All right,
there absolutely were. But listen,
I want to come on y'all show. I want to come on y'all show because I want to hear how y'all talk on y'all show.
You don't want to come. You don't want to.
Yeah, I want to get on there. Y'all need to get on
absolutely. We just didn't see the sense. We just didn't see the sense of y'all going live and us going live at the same time. It's like it didn't make no sense. It was like we're better off we just work together instead of clashing like that.
So we definitely have to have a time. Well, George and I will work it out where we'll get on together and
So
we'll
they
go
going
on
on
over
Tuesdays
to
as well.
We'll get on over to 150.
I thought you were
Random
on
days.
Mondays.
No, they do
Random-
random days. They do
Mondays I
no.
record my normal pod, and then the sports we just do it when everybody's available.
Okay, gotcha.
George
So
has a
we'll,
pod
I want to
when,
come.
for every day of the week.
George will let me know, and I'll let our guys know on in our
Y'all
end.
need a girl on y'all
And we'll
show.
come on over. And Keisha,
Oh, Jesus.
Keisha, don't be LeBron, okay?
We have an NFL expert on our show.
Ready to jump ship.
Let her go. Bye.
I would never leave my brothers.
Things was much better without her.
You need me.
Oh,
You need me.
Get out of
Well,
You
here,
need
Randall.
me.
much
Get out of here, Randall.
You
Much-
need me. Yeah,
much
that's
thanks
exactly what happened.
as usual
That's
to
exactly what happened.
to our regulars, Keisha, Dave.
Wait,
Al.
D-Lo.
Yeah,
Wait.
we had 2 hours. I got to,
We just need 3 minutes on. We just need 3 minutes on the bloodline.
That's more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's more than
Come
3
on.
minutes. We'll do that
It's
next
more
week.
than
That pay-per-view
That's a
Saturday was
lot.
phenomenal.
That's a lot, man. That's
Yeah,
a
We're
that-
gonna
lot.
do it.
That
We're gonna
pay-per-view
do that
was
next
phenomenal.
week.
We're gonna have to hold that.
Oh man,
Yeah.
The Rock! Did y'all see The Rock come out there?
Yeah, we can't hold it.
Yeah,
We can't. We can't look as you can tell. We can't move forward. No.
We gotta hold
Did
that
y'all-
because
yo,
that deserves its own segment.
It does.
That
No.
actually does-
We good. We good. It's only 10:01.
No.
It's only 10:01.
We gotta go. I gotta
No, we
watch
gotta
the
go.
game.
Question
Bye,
of-
Key. Bye,
question of-
Keisha.
Mr.
Bye.
D-Lo, just one question.
Yeah, Jay.
Doesn't the rock look like a thumb? Okay. All right, that's all I got.
Do that. The Rock looked like the final boss. He
Yo,
looked like
You must be stopped. You must be stopped.
that boy said.
You must be stopped.
James.
What was that? Yeah, what was that? That was the only thing I didn't understand. I was like, what was that?
You must be stopped. This is insane.
I said, what, is he counting down until his music hits again?
I
Like, what are you
think
doing?
Yeah, he was
it was
counting.
a reference to the three people. I don't think it was a music when he did that. I think that's the beginning of the whole.
Yeah, he's gonna join up with Solo
Yeah.
Side for War Games
And
for,
I'm not trying to
Survivor
extend the whole
Series.
wrestling talk. I love the way that
Oh, it's being done
Cody and
beautiful.
Cody and KO has finally begun for real.
A few.
But they're doing this thing like, all right, we're handling
Like it's
it
real.
internally. I'm like, yo, I love that.
Yo, Triple H is doing his thing,
Cooking.
running this company. He is
Yes.
absolutely cooking.
He is. He's doing a
He is
great
absolutely
job.
cooking. And I love the fact with the Cody and KO thing, like there was no cameras. He said, I'm gonna let social media report this.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Genius. yo.
Absolutely brilliant. They didn't have no cameras. They didn't have nobody following them around, so you didn't know it was a part of the show. People are just watching and just whip out their cameras like, oh, what's this? And next thing you know, it's all over social media.
Genius.
And again, but Triple H has said it repeatedly. He said, wrestling is at its best when we're able to blur the lines between reality and fiction. And they're doing a fantastic. And listen, match of the year candidate, and then we're going. Match of the year candidate, Drew and CM Punk.
Man.
oh, please. First of all, I was sitting here like, this right here is giving me 90s vibe right now.
I said it. I said I haven't seen this much blood since like the mid '80s.
Okay, so very quickly, we need to talk about the MVP level work that Drew McIntyre has done.
Yes.
Because he carried this feud while CM Punk was injured.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, by himself.
All
right, like extended it out, great spots, helped him in the ring. Because that first match, CM Punk was rusty or something.
He was rusty.
Okay,
Yeah,
he was very, very rusty, and he carried him to that match. Listen, man, that man is doing high level work.
Listen, Drew is an MVP. I'm glad that he took the money and stuck around when his contract was up middle of this year. I'm glad he stuck around because and he's being rewarded. And the beauty of that feud is the fact that neither of them need a belt.
Right.
This is a feud that does not need a title. And I love what Triple H is doing because if you watch closely, you'll notice at the premium live events, you're seeing mainly championship match and like higher level main event feuds. But the mid card is cooking on the shows.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So
And
you've now dedicated Raw and SmackDown to building your mid card, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. He's
so
done a
my
fantastic job.
my only beef though is that on Raw, you've got about 7 to 9 guys that you could put in a championship picture.
True.
SmackDown is only 2.
True.
Because there's not a believable candidate. You never thought Cody was ever going to lose.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? There's Solo Sikoa, come on now. We're not
Right. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Solo's not close to being ready yet.
They squashed AJ. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, who
Solo
else?
was put in place just to be the buffer till Rock came back.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So but the championship picture is only going to be those 2 and possibly the Rock if you don't put him in there.
Yeah, he's going to be in there.
So
He's on the board. You know he's going to write himself in there.
So you're depending on those Raw feuds to carry the mid card division. You know what I mean? You know, so that's my only take on that. I want them to develop more credible championship contenders on the SmackDown side because the Rock is not going to be here only, before a couple of months. He's going to be gone.
Right.
You need credible people.
Right. You'll get him now through War Games, and you probably won't get him back again until February for. Well, no,
Yeah.
you'll get him for the first episode of Raw on Netflix, but then you won't get him again probably until Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble,
Right.
And then you won't get him again after that till Mania.
Yeah. So they got to be careful with that.
Which I'm still mad that Mania is daggone Easter weekend.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
I'm very upset about that.
That's
Yeah.
the devil. That's the devil.
Because when they first announced it, we were like, yes, we're going to Vegas. Then when they announced the date, it was like, oh, guess we're not going to Vegas.
No, we're not going to Vegas. We're not.
We're not going to Vegas.
We're not going to Vegas. I think there's about to be a call up from NXT though that may shake up a little something.
Who do you think's coming?
Don't
say that. Don't say that. I want it. No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
never
gonna-
even
I'm not
talk
gonna
about
say-
the documentary.
We do need to talk about that. I have a take on the Mr. McMahon documentary, but we can't get into it now. We've got to get out of here.
Nasty.
Thanks, of course, to our regulars, Bishop L, Miss Carter, Pastor Davey, Bishop J Mac for a little while, as always. Of course, to our now frequent contributor, V. George Smith, and to the reinforcements that he brought with him today.
Yeah,
J
man.
Dub,
Yay!
thank you so much. Big Phil, DJ, we appreciate Gary Mays. He disappeared as well, but we appreciate you all. Again, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. You can download the podcast tomorrow, audio only version.
I love this Lakers energy.
You can download the podcast tomorrow on iHeartRadio, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, or you can watch the replay. Don't forget to like the Church Guy Sports Show podcast page on Facebook and to click that bell notification on YouTube in order to know when we're live. We are live every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. here on this platform. And these guys will be back. So we will definitely have another show with them coming up real soon. And look out for when we let you know when we're going over to hang out with them over on 150. We're excited about that. So until next week, we'll talk some.
I have a special presentation next Tuesday.
You got a special presentation? Real quick, before we get out of here, the Bishop L, better known as the Bishop Robert Vincent Butler II, has written an amazing book. So go out on Amazon and get it.
Okay.
Let the church.
Let there be order.
Let there be order in the church. I'm sorry.
Come
Let there
on
be
now.
Order in the church. I should know the title of the book. I wrote the foreword for it, but
and it's selling, yo. Like, yo, it's selling for real.
So let there be order in the church.
That's
Go
what's
on
up.
Amazon and get it. Reach out to Bishop L in the DMs. Nothing crazy, but he may send you an autograph copy. But get the book. We'll have a more formal advertisement next Tuesday. But we love y'all.
People actually buying this book, yo.
Yo, I told you it's a great book. When I read it, it's a great book. So please, Keisha, did you get your copy yet?
No, but she came to my church Sunday, so shout out to her.
That's great, but buy the book.
I did go to the church. I did support my brother.
Yeah,
I did show up. I'm gonna buy the book.
Buy the book. Thank you.
Because
you need some order in your life. You need some order in your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
My name is not Brittany.
Lord, we're not talking about that kind of order. That was a
It's
Brittany
not Brittany.
Griner reference. We're not doing it. Nope. We love y'all. See y'all next Tuesday.
All right,
Have a
Brittany
great night,
Griner signing
everybody.
out. Yeah, be good.
Yo, this is the state of emergency. Check. I need all my Knicks fans right now to grab your jerseys, your popcorn, your sodas, whatever you gotta do to get ready for this game. I don't care if you're a cheerleader, an athlete, a couch potato. We're here to restore the feeling. Matter of fact, can you say from New York what I say from New York? Hey yo, let's go Knicks!
Hey yo, I bring that New York energy. Talking 42nd Street, alley hoop finger roll. Ain't nobody checking me. Crossover through the legs, step back, hit a three. Still up in the hood, but got big baller tendencies. She just trying to get flued out to John Kennedy, just to see the Knicks play, make a couple memories. New York, if you ain't from here, don't pretend to be. And if you ain't rocking with the Knicks, you an enemy. Yeah, look at us, whole city is wild. This is New York, why y'all ever counted us out? Any game we attend, yeah, we taking it now. Fast break on the court, all up and down. Lead a garden in the pigsty, yeah, we get it on this side. Bacon, egg, and cheese, or the lobster mac with the ribeye. Either way, we win in the overtime if we get tired. Get it with the team, yeah, that's just something we live by. Hey, yo, first quarter in, we gon' turn it up. Gotta warm up first, then we taking a dub. By the third quarter in, no, they ain't catching up. Gotta stay in the lead before that shot clock buzz. If the Knicks get a win, we gon' do it again. Make the finals once before, we gon' do it again. Bounce back in the fourth, we gon' do it again. It's been a while since the chip, but we gon' do it again, yeah.
Yo, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Yo, put your hands up. If you from New York, put your hands up. Yo, look, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up.